which lines they're going to go, how do they attack this racetrack. And Phil, it's always entertaining and it's always a lot of fun.
And these guys really counted on those 2 practice sessions that we were supposed to have yesterday.
Well, hello, gang. Is this actually happening right now?
And that's going to be for some of these drivers.
And where's the fucking leaderboard?
And then they have to go out here and
where's the race center?
It's unbelievable.
Oh, there it is.
In the garage. The biggest thing is it's a different tire. It's a radial now.
As opposed to a
bi-sply tire. And the crew chiefs really don't have any idea how that's going to react.
You said no experience. The pole sitter, how many times does he run dirt, Phil?
Once he runs these 2 warm-up laps, he will have 2 warm-up laps under his belt.
And by the way, that's your son. He's going to start on the pole with 0 dirt experience. It paid off pretty good for Truex and Ben Rhodes. We'll see how it goes for Stephen Parsons.
In case you're wondering, there's stress in the booth, especially for the man in the middle. Let's hear now from our pit reporters as the truck make their hot laps. We start things off with a man.
These are the qualifying races.
Good evening, gentlemen.
These are qualifying races. I'm getting the YouTube app up on my phone. Honestly, I didn't expect this shit to happen today, so. 8 o'clock. I didn't expect this today, y'all. What's up, Michael? Is this just going to be a fucking mud bath like it was the last time they tried this when it had rained? Or is this track actually ready to race on? No, NASCAR, I don't want to turn alerts on. Get that gay shit off my screen.
It also helps if you can get a win on Saturday night to propel you towards Sunday, guys.
Josh mentioned Jonathan Davenport. They call him Superman.
I just got my Zaxby's, and I'm kind of pissed that this is starting on time, because I wanted to have time to eat my dinner.
Racing against Kyle Larson in his event over at Bulls Gap.
But now this shit's actually starting on time.
Such a great race on the dirt. Reminds me of when we had Scott Bloomquist show up here. You know, a dirt legend, Jonathan Davenport, is spoken of in those things.
I was waiting until the last possible minute to start a stream, and then as soon as the broadcast starts, I see trucks rolling on the track, and I'm like, oh.
These heat races will set the field for later tonight, and it's a point system. You get 10 points for winning, 9 points for second, 8 points for third, all the way down to a single point if you finish 10th. But there's also passing points. How do you get better as the event goes on? For a driver starting 8th, with his experience, he could really set himself.
I'm going to say this too soon and probably look stupid, but
But
doesn't that track look like they've done a much better job with it this year than they have the last couple of years? Doesn't the track look better? I know a damp dirt track is good, but that track looks really good compared to recent years.
And see what he gets when he comes to Bristol here with the big truck.
Also, in case you're wondering, just across the Tennessee border here in North Carolina, it's fucking cold.
From your starting position. Joey Logano was our pole sitter last year, just for instance, and he had 15 points. So that means he won the race, plus he passed 5 trucks.
It is cold and fucking rainy here.
The best thing Stephen could do starting that 20 truck on
It
the
was
pole,
hot as shit all week long.
because he gets 10 points that way. He knows that's going to put him in the show.
Now it's like
That's a
40
tall
degrees
task,
and rainy and
though,
windy.
to ask out of a man that's never raced a dirt car or truck or anything on dirt. But these guys and girls, this is Haley Deegan during hot laps. See what we have here.
Oh my lord, you see that?
Bouncing a lot and digging in. That's one thing with these radials are a lot shorter and they don't grow as much as the bi-sply tires. That's a lot of the question for the crew chiefs was how high these trucks.
That was weird.
And when they go down to turns 1 and 2,
But this
3,
track
4,
looks
you see
really
the
good.
boxes on the inside of the turns as the trucks get there.
We're coming to the green for the first heat. We got Parsons, Purdy, Rhodes, Tanner Gray, Josh Room, Haley Deegan, Chris Rott, Jonathan Davenport, Mason Massey, Lost Out, and Taylor Gray. I think Ben Rhodes wins this heat. They're kicking up a lot, but it's not splattering mud. This track looks really good. 3 wide for second.
Ben Rhodes was so good last year. Looks like the middle of the racetrack looks pretty good.
Rhodes into second.
Still got a truck on the outside of them.
Haley Deegan on the 13 trying to look to the inside.
Purdy
of
took
Stephanie
off.
Fry.
I
Down
expect
in the turn.
maybe good things from Haley Deegan here.
Looks like a pretty good turn. She's going to hook it low.
That's Tanner Gray in the
Depends
15
on how
truck.
fast the 99 gets by the 4, because I think it's only a matter of time. 3
Haley
wide.
Deegan. She's very talented in the dirt.
Deegan hits the apron.
Won a K&N West race on the dirt.
And Rhodes around the outside takes the lead.
Outside of Chase Purdy.
Nice
No
move.
surprise to see that 99 truck of Ben Rhodes go to the front so good last year here.
Now by starting third,
These heat races are pretty easy to pick the winners.
We'll see where that settles in, but the key thing getting out front, and because no practice last night, this is a real opportunity for him to learn something about that 99 for later on as well.
Looks like he's handling a lot like he did a year ago.
I was convinced there would be no on-track activity
And Rich
again
said,
today.
This is a different tire. We really don't know what we're going to have with no practice, but Ben drove that truck just like that a year ago, throwing it sideways way sooner than the
When are we
others.
going to move the
Drivers
Bristol
and
date
keeping
to
the
like a
back
month
end
later?
hung out all the way around this track.
I mean, hell, they moved it from, it used to be middle of March. Now they made it early April. It needs to move forward even more.
Look how dirty the front end of the 7. That truck will overheat. It won't take long for that truck to overheat. As we
Boy,
see
Deegan's splitter just ripping the track
Deegan
apart.
And Chase Purdy.
You said it, Phil. It'll only take a couple laps without any air going to that nose, and NASCAR keeps their eye on this. They know it'd be unfair for someone.
How many trucks have that shit all over their grill?
You know,
Because Deegan and Purdy's trucks look fine.
Already may be overheating.
Tanner Gray started up
Deegan's
inside
going
the
really
top
hard on the
five,
bottom here.
drifting back, and actually it's going to be a tire issue for the 15.
Oh, wow.
Tanner Gray's got a flat left rear.
Trying to get it back to pit road.
Just get it to pit road, park it,
Haley Deegan
cut it
hit
off,
by Purdy
let it
for
cool down. You
second.
got a flat tire and you got
Ben
mud
Rhodes
on the
is
grill.
checked out. His advantage almost 2 seconds. We're halfway home in the opening heat race of the night.
They were running 3 wide.
Have you
earlier.
noticed there's nobody in the fucking stands for this? Because nobody thought this was going to happen today.
Bump here from Steppen that could have caused some issues. I don't think they got together yet. Maybe off the corner, but a squeeze for sure.
Ben Rhodes has opened up over a 2-second lead right now on Haley Deegan.
And you know what I love? We talk about the world's fastest half mile. We're just now halfway in this race. I feel like I've seen more action in 7 laps than sometimes we see in 100.
If you look at the pylon,
Deegan
and you can
comfortably
see
in
the plus
second.
minus. Now, if you lose
Deegan's going to get a lot of
spots
passing
in your
points
heat,
in this.
You don't lose
She gained
points,
4
but you
spots
can
and she's
gain
running
the more
second.
trucks you pass. Look at Haley Deegan plus 4, working on a really good starting
Tanner
position
Gray was
later
Taylor
on
Gray,
tonight.
excuse me, is the biggest mover. He gained 5 spots up to
Last time
6th.
She was about within a tenth of our leader. Yeah, just about a tenth off of the leader on that last lap. Coming to 5 to go. Ben Rhodes.
Sending a message to the competition, isn't he?
Yeah, because we talk about the different tire and the different setups that it might take to be successful. I think it's the same driver. He's driving that thing like he did a year ago, just really hanging out and doing a nice job.
Curious to see how this track holds up tonight if we get all this racing in.
Went around Josh Rayum in the
Because like I said,
third
it looks so much better than last year. Oh, the 0-2 just spun.
Caution. It's the 0-2
Coming to
Chris
3 to go. We got a yellow.
He just ran.
Right front's killed on that thing.
He misjudged the entry there. I just happened to catch a glance of it. He piled into the back of someone in entry.
See that happen a lot here in
Look at the
trucks.
damage to the nose. Also, you see the water that had run out of it there. Could have busted the radiator. It might just be overheating because of sitting there. That's Taylor Gray, excuse me.
Tanner's brother.
God damn, look how deep the 0-2 drove into the corner.
Taylor, but that was weird.
I think he did bust the radiator. As soon as he hit Taylor Gray, it looked like it squirted out some water.
Lord. And it didn't do shit to the 17 truck. It just tore up the 0-2. Like Taylor Gray's truck is fine.
Unfortunate. Looked like Taylor got in normal. I don't know what happened in the center. You can see he was maybe a little slow in the center, and Chris just caught him off guard.
Bring back Norm Benning. Is Norm Benning here?
Restart. You put teammates on the front row, Haley Deegan and Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes had pulled away, but Haley Deegan
Oh my
had
God.
been working all of that
If
traffic.
Haley
Now
Deegan
they're
manages to
moving
win
side
a
by side.
heat
This could
race,
be
the
fun
fucking
with
old
4
man
laps to go
boomer
in each
simps
double
are going to go crazy.
Super tight. I think because we're hitting the track so bad in the front.
I would agree. Splitters hitting the ground is going to make you top.
I'll move that a little more.
Yeah, that's a big key to these handling of the trucks.
Work on that for later.
You know, we see the back
If there is a
now,
later.
You put more rear brake.
It's
in it,
amazing how
and
this
it
rain
goes
has
tires
mostly
locked
dodged
up
the track
sooner,
apart from
which
some
will slide her
drizzle.
sideways more. That's what she's looking for right now, man.
All the heavy rain missed the racetrack to the south today.
In the second spot right now, started this heat
Michael,
in sixth, and
I'll
prior
give you
to
my
the
truck
race,
bet
she told, her crew
whenever
chief
the
that
odds
truck
come out
felt
after the heat
fine.
races.
He'd
If you'll
respond to
get
her
me the
with spotter,
odds,
said, hey,
whenever it's
stick
the
to that
final
middle
odds,
lane.
let me
It's
know.
the one that's going to have speed. You can see that worked here in heat number 1. She expects to migrate to the top group later as we get closer to the race.
By the way, I'm watching on the Fox Sports app because this shit's on FS2.
They'll be right out next to the wall at some point during this race, and we've seen.
So I'm a little behind.
Bristol Motor Speedway and NASCAR for the track prep. It's been heavy rains here the last 24 hours. It has missed it all day today, and this track's in a great position right now. I talked to Kyle Larson earlier today. He's my dirt track go-to guru.
He's a pretty good one, by the way.
He said he thinks they got it packed really tight, and that not only will they not have mud or issues with that, he said they even added water to keep prepping the track. So I felt really good about the way it looked when we got here, and this has been a fun race.
That is the best this track has looked since they started doing this.
And I'm worried all the way here today about are we going to be able to get the track ready to race. And the first thing I heard when I walked in the gates, well, they're going to work the track and then they're going to add some water. I'm like, what? It rained all day yesterday.
Adam, did you say like me? Well, I'd have missed that one. Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Getting them lined
It's pretty
up for
crazy
the
they
start.
added water after all that rain.
For the first time,
I'm actually pretty shocked by that myself.
On a dirt track, this is the very first time we will use the choose drone.
Oh man, they got the drone.
To choose cone, not to choose trying.
Since NASCAR's using a drone now, can they drone strike cars that get penalties?
Technology coming to restarts in NASCAR, Michael.
This is going to be so much fun to watch it. There goes the choose drone. That
Attack, choose drone, attack.
When the restart comes, they can watch and see which way they
Shoot
want to
the
go.
13 truck. I'm kidding.
Standing by with Ty Majeski, and you told me that you really liked the track here last year. And when you see what's happening so far, you see Ben Rhodes taking the lead there. Anything that inspires you so far?
Yeah, Thorsport trucks look really good. Running 1-2 right now. Our dirt program's really good. We had a good truck here last year. Have a new sponsor this week, Soda Sense, from my hometown. So excited to have those guys on board, and hopefully we give them a good run tonight.
Passing points being key. I like him as a threat for the pole. Not only fast here last year,
Coming
but
to the
you
green.
saw on the graphic, he's starting 9th in heat number 3, so he could get by a lot of trucks. And as it stands right now, because of the passing points, Haley Deegan actually would qualify in front of Ben Rhodes, even though the 99 has dominated our opening heat.
I don't think she's done yet either, Adam. She loves some dirt racing.
Haley Deegan's going to bust her ass and cost her starting position. Didn't get a good restart. There's 4 to go.
It would build some confidence, no doubt.
She's comfortably in second, though. She got it back going.
Clear by 1.5 to 2. Clear by 2.
Previous run, she was within a tenth of Rhodes, but that's not going to be enough to catch him.
Deegan to second. Here comes Purdy in third.
3 to go.
Looks like that lower lane is preferred right now. Good battle here. Stephen Parsons fourth, leading Taylor Gray and Jonathan Davenport. Davenport's pushing. You see
I'd say that 7 just goes straight when he hit the corner there.
He sure is.
Davenport's running the Cup race tomorrow, isn't he?
That's Davenport and Gray right there, isn't it?
And Stephen just had him and just say, let me
On
get
no
out of here.
practice,
This
but he
looks
might get to do the
crazy.
heat
He's doing a
race as
nice
long as the
job.
rain
Here
holds
comes
off.
Gray. Little smoke off that 7 truck. You don't think he's hurt the engine, do you?
We saw it just completely clogged up with mud.
1 to go.
There's
Ben
the white
Rhodes way
flag,
out
1
front.
to go. Nice slide job there into the turn 1 area. Rhodes with that back end hung out. It's handling just
Hunging
like
out.
Woodson.
He's got that back end hunging out.
Was second. Last year, he was able to get the victory, and he's going to pick up where he left off. Ben Rhodes wins heat number 1 for the Craftsman Truck Series at Bristol.
Rhodes,
Great
Deegan,
effort
and Purdy,
for
and
who was
Deegan
second.
got the
Purdy
most
was
passing
third.
points there.
Stephen Parsons, who's brand new to racing on the dirt, brings it home 4th. And Taylor Gray rallies to finish inside the top 5.
Well, there he goes. First heat race.
He was a champion a couple of years ago, and he really likes racing.
We've
on
already
the
seen
dirt.
15 more laps than I expected today. Oh, yeah, Crafton's in the Cup race because Cody Ware dropped out. Cody Ware had a personal issue or something. So Crafton was just going to be Matt Crafton's second Cup race. His only other Cup start was the 2015 Daytona 500, if I'm not mistaken. And these Zaxby's fries suck today, in case you're wondering. How you doing? Man, I had a whole day planned. I was sitting here playing Star Wars and playing NASCAR. And I was like, yeah, I'll just play this all day and then maybe take a nap. And it's like, oh, wait, it's not really raining enough to stop the heat races. And I was like, oh, shit. So here I am. Here I am being disappointed by Zaxby's. Fucking John West Townley. Serve me food like this, I'll bring an axe to your house. I just thought about something I got to post in the NASCAR shitpost group on Facebook. Even this chicken's not that good today. Well, we got some good ones in the second heat. Tyler Anker and Parker Kligerman, Stewart and Jessica Friesen, Chase Briscoe, Christian Eckes, Zane Smith. A lot of good ones in the second heat race. Who are you picking for this one? I'll take Friesen to win heat number 2.
In her second place finish, gets 13 points.
And how about Taylor Gray? Taylor Gray gets as many points as Ben Rhodes because of the passing points.
For perspective, 15 points. Joey Logano last year won the pole. That gives you an idea of where we are moving forward. Josh Sims.
Down here with Nick Sanchez coming off a very strong run at Texas, but this is different.
Hey, look, it's the guy that should have won Texas.
First time on the dirt in the truck series. So what have you learned by watching that first heat?
Yeah, you know, you have to drive it in deep like the 99, so I don't really totally know what I'm doing, but just trying to go drive it hard and try to make something happen out of it.
Thanks, Nick. Amanda?
Ben, you told me ahead of today that
Happy Easter, everyone.
Every minute of racing here on dirt. I imagine that
it's a good holiday to eat fucking candy and shit. It's like Halloween, but for Christians.
With the new tires, what can you tell us about that and the track today?
Well, I can't tell you a whole lot just yet.
Or as I like to call them, idiots. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Right now, we're going to be second starting the race until the next few races go through. Kind of the luck of the draw on starting third. It was too far forward for my liking to get passing points, but all in all, I'm still pretty happy with our Camper Sin Ford F-150. We're just a little tight, and these tires are different for sure. So it's all
I saw some of the lineups for the Cup heat races. There's one heat race where Larson's like the only good car.
Heat race in number 6 up to the second spot, and Haley. When you look at the performance here today, Michael Waltrip was talking about.
Why does Haley Deegan? She's getting older and starting to look like a Mexican cleaning lady.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know when we come to the dirt race, it's definitely a lot more equal playing field. So it's kind of what I grew up doing, being on dirt. Not exactly the same, different type of truck that I used to race, but it's still the same gist of being dirt racing, and I do a lot of.
She still struggles forming sentences, but then again, look who her parents are.
Who does a very good job, especially when it comes to dirt stuff. With Ben's past experience, I think we'll be pretty good for tonight.
She's got momentum. 6th place last Saturday at Texas.
Still can't believe she had such a good race at Texas.
We talk about dirt experience, not just experience, winning experience.
Yeah, that's right. This is the bull ring, the dirt bull ring.
By winning experience, I mean wrecking everyone to win. That's about the extent of Haley Deegan's winning experience.
Great job. She also talked about doing a lot of dirt racing during the week. She goes over to Millbridge quite often and races micro sprints over there with a lot of these same drivers.
Starting lineup, heat 2. And I go immediately.
Hey, I got a square on my stupid dirt racing fanboy bingo card. Somebody mentioned Millbridge.
A number of years ago, Christian Eckes in 8th, top 5 in this race.
Oh my God, you want to go to Millbridge?
Earlier this season at Atlanta.
How about a couple of Friesens?
Look at Millbridge.
That's right, Stewart and Jessica.
How could I skip right past them?
They were over at
Millbridge, Eldora, Knoxville.
About this race and this weekend, and I think she's just as confident as Stewart is. She feels really good about what she learned here a year ago. Chase Briscoe, that truck looked out, and there's Jessica.
Michael, I think Crafton made a couple of starts in Xfinity for RCR.
and had that.
I want to say it was RCR. I've seen Crafton and Xfinity
How
before.
this heat race goes, they might be back at Michael Walter Brewing tonight.
Obviously not full-time or anything, just some one-offs here and there.
It's been a lot of fun getting to be friends with them, and this initiative for AIM Autism, their little son Parker is on the scale, and he's doing so good, and they just do so much. Big golf tournament at Trump in Mooresville.
A week from Monday, I think. Right?
Jessica Friesen got to finish dead last in this heat race.
Those trucks will be there, and a lot of the racers, so go to AIM Autism, Stuart Friesen Racing, and see if you might want to join in and help out.
And Jessica's an accomplished dirt racer too. You can see she was a track champion back at Utica Rome back in 2004, but she still races a lot. She said a couple weeks she will run her first race up there.
And this heat race actually bigger for her than it is for Stewart, because the points are enormous on her even getting into the field. Friesen's going to race later tonight, so you kind of root for Jessica here in the heat, and then maybe we root for Stewart later on tonight.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Hey, Stewart, get out of Jessica's way here. Just get out of her way.
Let's keep it all in the family.
Front row is Howard and Akram.
Yeah, and I think my favorite, just from that little, and I'm going to shock the world here, was Chase Briscoe. It looked like that truck was very versatile.
Stewart's going to Earnhardt himself to help his old lady.
I think that he's going to be tough to beat in this heat.
And he was a winner in the truck series at Eldora on the dirt, so obviously we know he was racing for the win here last year with Tyler Reddick on the very last lap. And so
well, as I said, I'm sorry to report this Zaxby's was not very good.
Right in front of him, though, Stuart Friesen, maybe one of the best dirt racers in America. So if he gets around him, and up there as Carson Hocevar looks in, having a good time.
Hocevar scouting where he's going to stop later, draw an intentional caution.
There's a guy that has a trophy
or where he's going to hook somebody.
He hasn't taken a smile off his face since last week, has he?
Hey, watch the 75. Every time we show up anywhere, Parker Kligerman's a player, right?
2 top 10s here in his 2 starts.
Really excited about starting third, too. I talked to him earlier today.
Look at this tight.
Colby Howard front row start. I like Stuart Friesen to win this heat. That's my gut. And, well, never mind. Chase Briscoe all the way up to the cushion. Colby Howard had a great first half a lap there. He got way out front there, 3 wide behind him. Oh, he overgrows 3, gets sideways. What the hell happened to that 9 truck? Friesen to the lead. And the 9 truck's cut off. You have to throw a caution. You have to put it out. Hello? Caution down the back on lap 2.
1 caution in our opening heat and an early yellow flag.
Yeah, motherfucker, they should have threw that caution way sooner.
Howard sits idle.
The hell happened?
Bill, you know this young man. We talk about how sideways he drives his truck on asphalt. One of my favorites.
He's saying he thinks
and Tyler Ankram's got a flat left rear.
He thinks it's the motor blew or maybe a transmission issue.
How's your motor or transmission brake a lap and a half into this?
That said, tire, and so we just assumed it was going to be Howard, but evidently that's not the case. Ankram comes in, and Howard still sitting out here on the track.
Let's see if we can pick up anything that tells us what might have happened to the 9. Everything looks good so far, and then gets down to the corner. Looks like he just overshot the turn and was pushing.
Yeah.
I don't know what would have gone wrong then.
You think he might have hit the kill switch?
That's the strangest thing I've ever seen. Who's Briscoe driving for? I don't know what team that is, but he looked pretty good.
Is this where we got Ankram's tire?
That's the truck Austin Wayne Self used to drive, ain't it? The 22.
I think if I'm the crew chief for.
Am I crazy?
Howard, I'm saying, hey, hit that kill switch, reset that kill switch.
Maybe a little bit of contact there between Briscoe and Colby Howard leaving the scene of the accident.
Hocevar's going, yeah! He stopped on the racetrack just like I do.
Racing just does that to you. It's just it's so much fun to watch these trucks slip and slide and make ground that way. Usually when you're sideways at them, it's
why do the trucks race so good here, but we haven't figured out how to get cup cars going with the shit here?
He does have a right rear tire flat, obviously, but I think it looks like it's still in gear.
Yeah, it's stuck in gear, maybe.
Oh, no. He almost got deckered. He almost got spun by the push truck. Hurry up and tow his ass out. How long do these heat races have to be?
Colby Howard's up pretty good in the points, so he will probably race later.
Excuse me.
Yeah, one of our full-time competitors.
How about that 19, Amanda?
We talk about guys having fun at Bristol. Christian Eckes is one of those. He said, concrete or dirt, I absolutely love being at Bristol. And you saw Carson Hocevar celebrating there. You'll go back to Atlanta when Christian Eckes won. He said in his winner's interview that he had something to prove this season. And as he was reflecting on the first couple of races here this season, that's exactly what I've been doing so far. But when talking about expectations on the track here tonight, he said, screw expectations. I have no idea what to predict out there, but said he expected the truck to be tighter in comparison to other formats that we see in trucks with the tires. Josh?
Here alongside Carson Hocevar, got that first career win last week at Texas, and what's even better, last year, really strong.
No, that Davenport guy was in the 7. William Byron's driving something else, I think.
We're playing with house money right now, honestly. We already got our ticket to the playoffs, and this was a good one. They all were a lot more motivated. They're already motivated knowing how good we were last year and how good we were in Knoxville on the dirt, but even more so when they kept looking.
Logano's driving for, he's teammates with Majeski, so that's Thorsport, right? Logano's driving for Thorsport.
I love dirt racing. I love that we're here. It's not the traditional dirt that, Davenport, Carpenter run. That's an element zone, but I like Briscoe's approach here of ripping the fence. Maybe we'll get that burned in, but I doubt it, honestly. We'll probably run the middle or so, but I'm excited. I have a lot of fun, a lot more fun.
And why the fuck, when NASCAR comes back here in the fall, they're not going to run the short track aero package for the Cup cars at Bristol? Like, how fucking stupid are they? Do they just not want anything but the dirt race to look good? That's my theory. They want the night race to look bad so they can justify still doing the dirt race.
But you would anticipate he'll be quite the player as well. We're doing the choose, getting set up for the restart here in heat number 2. Only got a couple of laps in before the caution came out for Colby Howard. And Tyler Ankrum also had a tire issue, came down pit road.
We're removing the drone, Adam. It's going to the garage area. Everyone is chosen.
The mystical drone.
Choose with 2 to go.
Yeah, this is interesting. We talked a lot about how good Stuart Friesen is and that Chase Briscoe would be right on his tailgate. Jessica slipped a bit there on the start. Ankrum with that, the flat tire that Ankrum had has put him in the back. So, going to be a lot more action.
Looks like the Colby Howard truck will not be able to continue.
How about Ankrum going from the front row to the very back, so he had the flat tire?
Howard was quite frustrated when he got out of the truck, and I'm not sure, and not only frustrated with the situation, but I think also he wanted to get back and get a little work done so he could continue. So, tough break for him, but as Michael pointed out, we would anticipate he'll be racing later tonight based on where he sits in regard to points. Friesen, Kligerman, front row, right behind him. Eckes and Briscoe both have been aggressive early here in heat number 2.
Yes, and it's been fun to watch.
You know, as much as I wish I could go to Bristol, I'm kind of glad I'm not there freezing my balls off right now.
Row 3 on the outside, that 38.
Friesen, Kligerman, front row. And Briscoe around the outside into second.
Right on cue, 38 jumps to the outside with a 22, Chase Briscoe.
Boy, it seemed to be a lot more grip on the outside, middle to outside that time.
Woo! Zane Smith.
A little bit of momentum there did Zane in that blue truck. Parker Kligerman took advantage of it.
I saw Zane's truck dig into the dirt as well.
Think that's an adjustment they could make after this race.
Looks like I'm going to be 2 for 2 on my heat race predictions so far.
That they have on the shocks to keep it from traveling so much.
You talk about playing with house money. Carson Hocevar said it. He won last week. Zane Smith has won twice this year. He's really in a good position for later on this evening.
And Stuart Friesen's looking really good right now, too.
Christian Eckes is heating up Parker Kligerman there. You see the Napa truck behind the Swifter truck. That's a pretty good sponsor for dirt, right?
Isn't it not perfect? Isn't it not perfect? We used to see in food country on that truck.
At what point tonight will the track get dusty?
Hometown race for them here.
Of course, Kligerman running full-time in the Xfinity Series for Big Machine Racing, driving that 48. Great to see him doing so much behind.
Oh, look, Jessica Friesen's running dead last of all the trucks remaining. Just as I predicted.
One of them guys you look forward to hearing what he has to say when they put a microphone in front of him.
I was talking to him down in the garage area earlier today, and he said, this is so much fun. He said, I'm telling you, you can't have any more fun than running the dirt here at Bristol.
I like that so many drivers and teams showed up for the dirt race for trucks.
It's interesting. You see his truck's not being pitched out like we saw at Ben Rhodes.
What's the over-under on Briscoe wrecking a Truck Series regular on the final lap tonight, trying to win the race?
Been a little straighter, hangs out a little bit that time, but it feels like there's different philosophies between either the setup and the driver or one or the other on how to go fast here.
Yeah, I was talking to Parker this morning. He said, I think in the heat races you will drive it more like an asphalt track, less hung out even though these front trucks are. He said, but in a race when it starts slicking up a little bit, he said, then that's when you're going to be really sideways.
Look at the pylon, and this is the gain versus the loss.
Zane Smith's past 7 trucks.
Are huge. Zane Smith +7, working on a really good starting spot. Chase Briscoe is +4, and Stuart Friesen, who right now is pulling away from the competition, the lead is +3. So you add that to what he's been able to do.
They should add a couple of extra points for winning the heat race, shouldn't they? Because what if you start first and just stay there?
That's got to be a little frustrating. Zane is right there, but just can't make up enough ground. And speaking of frustrating, Jessica's having a bad run in that 62 truck. She would be one of the trucks that would not make the race if this race were to end right now.
Yeah, this is the first time this truck has been on the race in the series this year, so no points to fall back on.
Leave Briscoe alone. No, I will not. He's quickly become, he's moving up my shit list, Michael. He's been that way for the last year.
Really consistent to have been watching the lap times. His lap times haven't really
overdriving fucking bozo.
If you drop back to second and third,
with his damn Joey Logano hair.
So experienced on the dirt, you expect it's going to be really good later tonight.
And the battle for second's heating up.
Impressive. Still has a lot to learn at this style of racing. Can he go to school right here and learn a little bit for later on? What do you think?
Every lap you learn. You just feel like, because look at all the things, look at all the variables, Adam. How far you go in, how far you hang out the back, which part of the track do you run? Every lap you learn something, and he's putting those lessons to use here.
He might be giving a lesson. He's looking for second right now, Amanda.
Zane Smith's looking good here, and there's Briscoe getting really wide, lost all his momentum. Zane Smith looks like a dirt ringer right now. Last lap of the heat. Go back and show the battle for second. We know Friesen's got it 1, but the 38 and 22 were side by side coming off of 2. I'm 2 for 2 on heat predictions. And Zane Smith second, Briscoe third.
This was an impressive move for Zane Smith to get to the bottom.
Yeah, Chase was committed to the top side. They're really cranking it sideways.
Watch him go.
Cranking that hog, boss.
Maybe jump the cushion. He did jump the cushion. All 4 tires.
Oh, what? Friesen overdrove on the last lap at a Bristol dirt race? You're kidding. You're kidding me. That never happens. He's just practicing his big finale for later tonight when he wipes out the leader.
Number 2, but the man who got it done is Stuart Friesen.
Because a Cup guy needs to be in a truck race, remember?
Halfway home at Bristol.
Hey God, even the Diet Dr. Pepper from Zaxby's sucked tonight. Like, gross. It is raining so hard right now outside my house. All that rain that just barely missed Bristol, it's already been here all day. So there's just a shit ton of rain across North Carolina and Tennessee. Bristol is like 2.5 hours from my house. So to put cough syrup in my Diet Dr. Pepper at Zaxby's. I knew I should have gotten Cookout. Cookout never fails. And we're back.
Racing on the dirt. I never believed it would happen in Bristol, Tennessee. This is the third year.
Hey, did you see NASCAR got Hendrick again?
More and more enjoyable every time.
Because Hendrick manipulated their way to getting their penalty overturned, so NASCAR said, all right, here's a new penalty, and we've changed the rules, so you can't get it overturned.
Number 2, Zane Smith finishes second, but because of all
You think they just give Briscoe Rodney Childers next year? That would make sense, honestly, Michael. Move the 4 team to the 14, I guess.
He actually got more points than Ben Rhodes did. Same thing for Zane Smith here.
I think somebody who's already been at Stuart Haas should get the 4 team next year. You can keep the car number the same, just give them the team.
This track is so racy right off the bat. No issues. Just a lot of good action and a lot of fun.
I like when Denny Hamlin on his podcast explained how his penalty should have been overturned, and I was with him, and I was like, damn, it sounds like it should have been. He says, then they come out and go, nah, penalty stands.
Yeah, well, I've always sucked on these dirt tracks, so going into this weekend, I did a lot of homework, and our Seco Ford was really good there. That was probably the most fun I've had in a while.
Oh, yeah, they're letting the drivers run 3 hot laps before they line them up to drop the green here.
Looking forward to the race. That's like a great truck. Should be starting good, so excited for it.
Here with Chase Briscoe, one of the guys doing the double dip out here this weekend. What did you pick up out there in the truck that you can use not only tonight but tomorrow?
Yeah, just it's nice to
More fans are showing up. They know the Cup heat races are here in about an hour or so, I think.
As much as it was, so that's encouraging for the rest of the night, but also tomorrow too. I thought the track prep guys did a really good job. I didn't think it would hold that much moisture with how much rain we had. I thought they'd have it so hard packed and kind of blow off. And yeah, I mean, right now the racetrack's really, really good. So yeah, looking forward to tonight with the Production Alliance group and Elliot's Custom Trailers and Golf Carts. Appreciate them coming on board, allowing me to do double duty. But yeah, looking forward to it. The Cup car. I think we started on the front row of our heat race, and yeah, the track's a lot of fun right now, just how it is. So yeah, looking forward to it. And yeah, the truck.
We got DiBenedetto, Sanchez, Dean Thompson, Daniel Dye. I'll take Logano to win heat number 2. William Byron's in the 51 for KBM. William Byron back at KBM. It's a reunion of sorts.
A lot of smoke here. What do we got? A tire rub?
And Corey Haim's got a left rear going down under the pace laps for the hot laps. Or it's a bad tire rub anyway.
Do that.
A KBM truck with a Hendrick logo on it.
That should clearance itself. I don't know. It bounces around a lot. I know that body will shift over to the right, and that could cause it to be worse, but there's a dirt track expert. And Adam, there's someone on Twitter keeping up with it, I'm sure, but I think somebody needs to tell us a total number of funds we hear, because we're going to say it a few times, and every driver is going to say it. That could be the drinking word for the evening.
Everyone at Michael Waltrip Brewing is tipping back right now to the word fun. A couple of onboards, including Daniel Dye. And yeah, Joey Logano, the reigning Cup champ, is competing tonight.
Logano in the 66.
Yeah, he's got a race.
I see raindrops on Logano's camera.
I bet.
I like his chances. I feel good about it.
What happens if half the heat races get rained out, but they've run the other 2? What do they do then? Do they just DQ all the other heat races? A little bit of rain is good for a dirt track. We just don't need a lot. We saw last year how good a little bit of rain can be.
15 laps heat number 3 off. Here we go.
Remember in the truck race last year, Matt DiBenedetto got stuck to Austin Wayne.
Sanchez and DiBenedetto
trucks apart.
Logano quickly flying up to the front. He tried to pull a slide job on the 5 truck. He couldn't clear Dean Thompson, but he's obviously faster into the corner than everybody in front of him. That's where Logano's showing his strength right now, into the corner. You could see it in just the first lap and a half.
Chase Briscoe said he was surprised that the track widened out as much as it did. Well, it was because of him.
DiBenedetto not giving him an inch off the corner.
Daniel's doing a nice job.
He is. A little bit of experience in the Arca Menard series. They run Springfield and DuQuoin, 2-mile dirt tracks.
And now Logano's going for second. I picked Logano to win this heat race. Am I going to go 3 for 3, Michael? Do I get money for this? Picking the winner of each heat race. God damn, the 30 trucks tore up. Stay green, fuckers. Oh, Daniel Dye got spun. Never mind. Put her out. Put it out. 4 laps in.
We are still green.
No, we're not. There's the caution, you dumbass. We're not going to stay green for that.
Carrot
You would
went to
think.
the
I don't
pit
put
road
anything
back
past
away as the
NASCAR.
spotter told him. He got into turn 3 a little hot, and the truck got away from him. There's the 30 truck of Carrot.
30 truck hit the
Overcorrect
dirt turtle,
after
the
the truck got away
Dirtles.
from him.
And that's what happened to
And
Daniel
then he
Dye.
spun Daniel
Yes.
Dye and tore his
And you
right
saw
front
the
off.
51, William Byron. He had not passed a truck. He was running last. We'll see how that develops.
You think Custer gets the Ford Stewart Haas car? That would not surprise me.
Onboard camera.
I'd like to see Zane Smith get the opportunity.
Might have made slight contact with the outside wall. I think that was actually separate to the incident when the 30 when Carrot got into him.
That didn't do that much damage to the truck.
Had a caution late in Heat 1.
I wish we had an Xfinity Series dirt race. Wouldn't that be nice? When are we going to get that?
In our third heat, 1 heat to go. And I had mentioned earlier that Ty Majeski had a real shot at the pole because he's...
Oh my God, the choose drone. Ah!
To get a bunch of those passing points. He is up to
Looks like a
fifth.
final boss in a Sega Mega Drive game.
There you go. There's another one. Take a drink. We're getting ready for the choose, and there is the choose drone.
Boy, they are loving that choose drone, aren't they?
Innovation at its best.
Oh my God, it's a
Driver
fucking
gets
drone.
shot from the drone, looking back at the field.
Remember,
They know where to go.
when we were told earlier this week that there would be a choose
Here's an
drone.
idea. Just put a fucking cone out there.
No, a choose drone.
You could just put a cone out there, you know, like every other form of dirt racing in the world does.
In an orange suit. I was gonna
No
stand out.
orange jumpsuit.
Yeah,
What's up, Karen?
Yeah.
I believe I started that rumor.
The
on
Bristol
top of
Dirt
that.
Truck Race is tonight at 8. I think it's 8 o'clock tonight.
No offense,
We're in the
Michael.
third heat race right now.
That's why you gotta tune
And then
into
after
the
this, they
hub,
got the
man.
Cup heat races.
There's Jessica and Stuart debriefing after her.
What's the debrief about? She didn't make the race.
Jessica's struggling a bit. Trucks are so different than anything that she's raced before, and tonight wasn't good for her.
Couple of drivers to watch on this restart is Nick Sanchez, who's lined up.
There's Ryan Blaney
Ryan Blaney.
watching the heats.
He's not only watching the race for the fun of it, he's watching to learn.
Trying to learn, exactly
He's
right.
going up on the roof and is going to spot
I know.
Joey Logano later.
I was gonna say there's a rumor going around he's going to be on the spotter stand. Watch Nick Sanchez.
Blaney's going to be a spotter tonight.
Against Joey Logano here. Real learning opportunity for the rookie and the two.
So it's Logano got up to second there just before that caution.
Not a great start to this race, driving the 51 for Kyle Busch. He's going to come from 8th on this restart.
Yeah, I was surprised at his start. He hadn't made any
Michael, if I
ground.
pick all the heat race winners correctly, you owe me $40. No.
Very talented racer.
I kid.
obviously. Might get it all figured out here.
I can only pick winners when there's nothing on the line.
Really slow, it sounds like.
Green flag. Lap 4.
Good jump for Sanchez.
De
in the
Benedetto
outside lane.
gets
Takes
really
the lead.
sideways. Sanchez, great launch. That's going to buy him some time, but I think Logano's going to eat him up on entry like he was everybody else
Doesn't seem to be
before that
bothering
caution.
himself right now. I think you're right. I think it clearanced itself.
Ty Majeski starting to put things together in the 98.
A lot of pitch on entry, no gain by it.
You hear that? Pitch on entry, that means your back end's hung out. The spotters are letting the drivers know that what they're doing and how it's helping or not helping.
10 to go.
Majeski.
Ooh, Majeski got back in the gas.
Majeski.
Hard off of 4.
Soda sense on that Tim Duggar.
Logano's sizing up Sanchez. He's going to his outside now.
Race last year. No dirt experience and spent a lot of time at the
Now he goes to the inside. Throws it off in there. Ain't going to get there just yet. But if he can stay. And Daniel Dye spun again. Jesus fucking Christ.
Is the 43 sitting idle again?
Was the right rear
Just as
tire-
Logano was going for the lead, the 43 spun again.
Yeah.
You can
And he
see
has
it
no
just
right rear.
Hung up in the fender well there. Another issue for that truck.
Park the 43.
This race is having a hard time catching its rhythm.
It's killing Logano. Logano's
We have
clearly
two
the best
trucks
truck in
already
this
out of
race.
This race, the 30 of Carrick and the 46 of Jerry Bowman.
See if we can catch a replay here from Daniel Dye's onboard.
It went pow, and then it went into the wall.
You could hear the tire just blew out right there.
Michael Walter said it went.
These caution laps do not count. Daniel waits patiently in that number 43 truck, and the reason why he runs 43 is because he loves Richard Petty.
That's right.
Well, good for him.
Everybody loves Richard Petty,
without a doubt.
Yeah, and his dad was a racer too, and his dad drove the 43 because he too loved the King.
Bunch of fucking fanboys. Get your own number.
Cleaning the grill.
Byron's getting his grill cleaned off.
Josh.
Yeah, the 51 of William Byron coming into pit, came over the radio before he just came in, said, yeah, I've been really tight. He said, I've just been doing a couple things wrong out here. I need to get it cleaned up. So William Byron is the guy that told me before.
Zoom that camera in, Fox.
This year on the Bristol dirt.
There you go.
The first time he was here, he was good. Last year, not so much, so he wanted the more experience in the truck, and it helps when you can go back to run with KBM, guys.
I would have lost a bet if you had told me that someday, maybe 2-3 years ago, if you said William Byron will be driving a truck for Kyle Busch at Bristol on the dirt. If you had told me that 4 or 5 years ago, I said, you've lost your mind. But here we are. It's 2023, and anything is possible. I mentioned Dean Thompson.
Anything can happen in NASCAR.
You guys were calling the race with Jamie Little. This was a really scary moment for this young driver.
It sure was, and he had such a good run going.
Good God, that fucking hit last week in that Texas race. Ooh, and then he got hit again at the end.
Significant contact with Dean.
Michael says Briscoe and Rhodes wreck on final lap and Deegan wins. I want to live in that reality. Must be nice living in Never Never Land where Haley Deegan's capable of winning a race. Remind me to visit sometimes when I need a break from reality.
Like you said, they couldn't see, and unfortunately, Dean, well, fortunately, he was driver's side. It was on the passenger side where it hit, and he was able to be okay.
That truck race last week was a fucking ARCA race in disguise. Everybody from the spotters to the drivers, and Texas Motor Speedway being just complete ass. Oh, but I had a good IndyCar race. Yeah, I know.
I don't want to say that's really what I need.
IndyCar rules on ovals. I wish a third of the IndyCar schedule was fucking ovals.
Boy, that's a
New Hampshire, Iowa, Texas, Michigan,
that's pretty good already.
Milwaukee, Gateway. 10 to go. Can Logano finally make this pass before somebody else spins again? Oh, Logano driving it in on him. Roughing him up just a little. Logano put his nose in there. He's like, I got to get this quick. These idiots are going to keep bringing out cautions.
Here comes Tom Majeski. Great battle up front.
Sanchez just good enough off the top to stay in front of Logano. And now Logano's got a nose out front, but he's not clear.
You see how far his would turn left, Michael, in the middle of the corner?
Oh, Joey, hang on. Don't know how he stayed off of Sanchez there. Come on, Joey, make me 3 for 3. I picked you to win this one. Ah, bad corner there for the 2. Joey's going to clear him now. Yes. And he's got to bring Majeski with him.
From the Thor Sports Stables, and of course, so is Ty Majeski. They're looking at a 1-2 here, and their teammate Ben Rhodes earlier won his heat, and Haley Deegan was strong there as well.
Look at Majeski, power move on the
Sanchez starting to fade here.
This is big for Majeski, who started 9th, putting a lot of points on the board here. When it comes to establishing starting positions for later tonight, Majeski plus.
And Majeski's going for the lead.
And if he could get it, it would put him in line maybe for a front row start later tonight.
Wow, he's going to go. Joey kind of chopped him there a little bit. Classic Joey Logano chop job.
Looked a little bit desperate.
This could be, if he's able to get by Logano, it could be a pole-winning move for Majeski.
You guys do the math. I'm not keeping up with passing points.
We heard Nick Sanchez in that black truck say he thought he was hanging out too far. You talked about how it looked like in the center of the corner, he was cutting his wheels dead to the left. Now he's moved down to the lower part of the racetrack. Every lap is just a learning experience for this kid. Doesn't have the experience in these big trucks the others have, and he's just doing a really nice job.
There's William Byron. His best running position of the night.
DiBenedetto's about to be back there with old Daniel Dye.
Matty D. Quite a battle here. And it's Bristol, baby. This is a great race.
Are you rapping on race day
I was
later?
trying.
Is that a piece in the pre-race, 7 Eastern, when we move over to FS1?
That's what that attempt was. And I came up far short.
It's baseball season. I'll call that a swing and a miss.
I call that a shut the fuck up, Uncle Walter. We have a lot of those moments.
Logano leading Majeski as Byron and Matty D.
Why can't we have like Kyle Larson be in the booth tonight? It's a dirt race.
Matty D, we'll have to see.
One to go. Logano out front. He held off Majeski ever since he kind of chopped him. He's stayed out in front. Although Majeski's putting the heat on him on the last lap. Joey defensive line into 3. Really checks up to just hold that bottom, and the 98 gets back in the gas and 2 loose. And I'm 3 for 3. But I get absolutely nothing for picking the winners of these heat races. I can pick a damn heat race. I'm 3 for 3. Roads freezing in Logano. Shut up. Is Mikey in SRX this year? I don't know. When does SRX start? Like June? So rainy outside, I can't even open my window, and it's hot in here. There's one more heat race. I don't think they're doing a last chance race, are they? I can't remember. And then you got the Cup heat races after this.
Race remains here at Bristol for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
So far, Zane Smith, Tom Majeski, Logano, and Friesen and Deegan are the 5 best drivers on points through these heat races tonight.
Oh
my God, like a little kid! Ah!
Joe, you said that the truck felt snug, but it got better there as the race went on, and you're pulling double duty here tonight. What does your scouting report on this track say so far?
It's still a lot of fun. That's the main reason why we do it, and it's awesome that Hank 10 car wash just jumped down for us in this F-150, and you're always nervous when you go out there for the first time. You haven't driven a truck for Thor Sport before. Like, what's it gonna be like? You gotta make the shows. You're like,
take that hat off, Joey. Want to see that awesome natural hair?
Really good truck there. A couple little things that maybe adjust on to try to get a little bit better, but it's still a lot of fun. That's what matters.
Joey finished 6th here last year. Josh.
We got a truck that spun on the hot laps here for the final heat race.
Every time you come out, you keep producing on the dirt.
Yeah, you know, Joe gives me a great truck week in and week out, and the dirt here is no different. We have a really good package at Thor Sport, as I said before. These dirt trucks are really good. It's a pleasure to drive them. I think Thor Sport has swept all the heat races we've been in so far, so hopefully Matt can do the same. And we have a brand new sponsor this week, Soda Sense. They're from my hometown, Seymour, Wisconsin, so cool to have a new partner here and get kicked off with a good heat race finish, and hopefully we go get them tonight.
Strong start for Majeski and Thor Sport.
No doubt, they're tied for the all-time wins list.
Who's in that 47?
3 all-time. They've been 1-2 Heat 1, 1-2 in Heat 3. And as we get set for our final heat, problems for the pole sitter, Andrew Gordon.
Andrew Gordon.
Yeah, just shaking it down a little bit. Just got in a corner.
It was on the hot laps. They gave him 3 hot laps to shake down the trucks before all these races start.
There in the bottom of the turns. That's a tight shot in there to see just that, how close to going around these trucks are about every lap. Hanging it out.
A little pressure on Matt Crafton from ThorSport, isn't
I'd
there?
say.
And I bet he loves every second of it.
Teammates 1-2 in their 2 heat races.
Here's a stat for you. 11 dirt races all time in the Craftsman Truck Series. 11 different winners. One of them is Matt Crafton at Eldora a number of years ago. But here's what stands out to me. Matt Crafton, in those
46 years old and still running truck races.
10 top 10 finishes. You wouldn't think of him as a dirt guy, but he has adapted and been the model of consistency.
And I think he actually runs a lot of dirt because of the fact that the Truck Series goes. When we decided to go to Eldora the first time several years ago, we got him a dirt modified. So Matt does a lot of dirt track racing. He's become very adept at it.
There's the guy that was on the pit wall cheering and having a great time, talking about how cool this event is. Carson Hocevar. Got to sit down with him.
There's like a lot more than 3 heat laps.
Race day today. Raja with some issues, or what's going on with
Where
the
a lot of guys are having
truck?
problems. Hill Raja spun out on the. He almost hit the barrels on the pit road over there.
They don't want you trying to cut the corners, and you know race car drivers feel they'll definitely try to cut the corners.
Take a shortcut. We're going to do it, right?
There's no NASCAR penalty for going down there, but you penalize yourself if you go below the white line.
It's a mechanical penalty.
Yeah, hit one of those white boxes.
And you learn real quickly that's not a place you need to go as we look at our lineup for the final heat race.
Matt's in a good spot there inside second row.
Talked to Tyler Carpenter there that's going to start alongside Matt the other day at the Nice Racing shops. And man, he is so happy to be here and get a chance to go racing with these guys on dirt. Experienced dirt racer.
Hey, I like starting 7th, the 23 of Grant.
July 3rd. Damn, SRX doesn't start till July.
Never finished outside the top 10, in fact, in 7 career starts. And he's got a shot to pick up some of those passing points and really help his starting position in the main.
There you see Stephen Parsons.
Locked into the show.
Getting all the information he needs to know to go win this race from Stuart Friesen.
He's a darn good one to talk to, I'll guarantee you that.
You think Stuart's telling the truth there? You know,
100%.
they are competitors.
Yeah, without a doubt, 100%.
There was sarcasm in that comment, by the way.
I did take him down on a lawnmower the other night, though.
Yes.
We had a lawnmower race.
My pick to win this heat race is Matt Crafton.
Because your celebration was quite epic, actually. Fists raised above your head.
I can't believe you threw your helmet, though.
I couldn't help it. It was just the biggest.
I'm going to say Matt Crafton.
And superstars throw helmets at Bristol.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart, a number of years ago. Final heat.
That was a different reason.
Hocevar, I think, is the biggest threat to fucking up my
It was not out of joy or
perfect heat race predictions. But I'm going to say Crafton.
That spin in the warm-ups. Can he
Stuck
keep it
behind the
going
47
direction
right now.
and Get the lead away from Raja.
Boy, that Gordon guy's out of control.
Final heat put Raja Carruth.
Raja gets out front. Crafton's going to the outside of that damn 47.
Tyler Carpenter. And that's 41. See if he can keep
47
pace.
slides up. Crafton swings to the bottom.
Nice crossover on Gordon.
Just get by that damn 47 is all I can tell you.
Grab that second spot.
We set it, ThorSport trying to stay.
Ooh, Hocevar almost got turned by Enfinger. Or almost turned himself. And then Enfinger puts him 3 wide in the middle.
Boy, Enfinger and Hocevar made contact there. Now Grant is able to drive by. Looks like Hocevar has a bit of an issue. Something, that truck's just not doing well.
He just bounced it all.
Yeah, Hocevar looks slow.
In the 04 Texas driver.
Like, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with the truck. He just looks slow.
Make up for that. Holmes just ahead of him. They're both having really good early success as they tried to track down Grant Enfinger. Spencer Boyd in the 12 there ahead of him.
Spencer's holding down that 5th spot right now.
I'll tell you, this is a tight race from the lead back to.
Yeah, this is probably the most competitive of the heat races we've seen so far.
Battle for the 3rd spot. Carpenter's going to grab.
Crafton's firmly in 2nd.
Gordon hanging in there in 4th.
Tyler Carpenter's 3rd.
3rd behind Carruth and Crafton. And give some love to Raja Carruth. I mean, he's
Fucking Norm Benning's 10th. This is bullshit.
When he was running ARCA, but he hasn't done it in a truck.
This was fair. Norm Benning would win.
In front of Matt Crafton, his Enfinger picks off another one. He's now 5th around Boyd.
Excuse me, guys.
He's going to be heated up is Spencer Boyd by the 04 of Honeycutt. You can see that truck's pretty fast and really versatile. Now we got a battle for the lead.
On lap 7, Crafton's looking to the outside of Rajay Caruth.
Taking his time, very methodical, and now peeking to the outside of that 24. There he goes.
And he's going to take it. Look at me, Michael. I'm going to be 4 for 4 with no money.
Obviously, they share that information. All 5 of the ThorSport trucks are outstanding tonight so far.
Be interesting to see for me, Phil, when we go racing tonight for this big win, how this track changes and how the handling setups and characteristics.
How dusty does this track get later tonight?
To be successful change.
And that's one thing about dirt is that racetrack will change tonight during our 150 laps.
Somewhere Duke Thorson is smiling. +2 for Matt Crafton puts him in the race lead, trying to continue what has been an incredible night.
Honeycutt's the biggest mover of the race.
Carpenter +1, Infinger +3 is 4th, and Honeycutt looking good. Amanda?
I was just listening to Rajay Caruth's spotter talk him through the pass there on Matt Crafton, but in addition to the spotter and the crew,
Why did they cut away from a potential accident just now?
It's Kyle Larson. Rajay Caruth actually reached out to Kyle through text.
I have a theory. Fox has a script of cameras that they follow. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on in the race at any given point. They'll just go, all right, in a lap, we're going to cut to this no matter what. And then they do, no matter what's going on. They have a script that they follow, and they don't deviate from that hardly ever.
Picked a darn good one to reach out to, didn't he?
And it's really prevalent early in races that they don't get away from their pre-planned camera cuts.
Watch Caden Honeycutt really letting that truck hang out.
Because, you know, if you switch the camera around a lot, it makes it look more exciting.
Grant Infinger for that 4th spot.
And there's a lot of y'all here to watch heat races.
He does a nice job.
You might get a 2 for 1 here, Michael. This is the old buy one, get one, huh?
Go, Honeycutt.
Out of the gas.
Driving a NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup created paint scheme.
That's going to have to make some adjustments to that truck. His truck does not look as good as we expected.
Honeycutt's fast.
We talked about the fact he's never finished outside the top 10 on a
Ripping it, ripping the top now. 2 to go, makes the pass. That's 3rd place. Big move there. And Rajah's not done with Crafton. We got a battle for the lead just ahead. What if the 04 was, if the 04 had another lap or 2, he'd run him down.
Roger said, I think I picked up a few things. I'm coming back at you.
Be careful, here comes the 04. He's going to run out of time. Crafton's just going to have to hang on to this. Look at the fucking 04 ripping the top. Running as high as I've seen anybody.
He is going to get there.
Oh, photo finish. Photo finish. Can Crafton get back in the gas? Crafton! Crafton wins. 4 for 4. I'm excited about getting all 4 of these races right. And Honeycutt was coming. That was a great race. And Rajay gets no passing points because he finished where he started.
The stage is set for tonight's 150 lapper. Matt Crafton, the veteran, the 3-time champ, a winner in Heat 4.
What time are the Cup heat races supposed to start? Am I going to have to fill time here for like a fucking hour? Bristol dirt schedule. Saturday. Okay, the Cup heat races are in less than like 20, 25 minutes, so it's not that bad. Yeah, we'll hang around. I was hoping that the truck and Cup heat races would overlap with each other enough to where I could do it in one big stream and not be bored to death. So, awesome. Good looking race. I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited to watch and stream a truck race. And I'm absolutely intrigued by the Cup race tomorrow. I kind of wish I was going, but at the same time, it's fucking cold, so. And I feel really lazy this weekend. I was really lazy at work this week. Lazier than I've been in a while. I left work early yesterday. That's how lazy I was. So lazy today I haven't even played drums. Can't fucking go outside and go for a walk. It's pissing rain. I would actually like to walk to the store later and get something sweet, but Not worth it. Too cold, too rainy. Well, let's check the Bristol weather while we've got a moment, just to double check that we're going to get everything in tonight. Let's see. Weather.
Heat race is complete here.
As you can see, tomorrow night's weather looks good for the race.
Second career pole for Zane Smith. Here is your front row for tonight. Zane there with
They have a frost advisory. And yeah, weather looks good the rest of the night. Cloudy and in the mid to low 40s.
Strong heats for ThorSport all around. What can you say about what this team is
Looks
doing?
good, y'all.
I mean, ThorSport is a dirt program. They're very good. We tested in 2017. Did good here.
And who wants to pay me for picking all 4 winners of the heat races?
And we learned a lot that day, and it's carried over every year since.
Nostradamus strikes again. Get this shit off my screen. What is that fucking ad? Trying to look at the radar. Trying to play weatherman for a minute. While Matt Crafton talks with his lift. Are we sure Matt Crafton and Cody Rhodes aren't related?
That's why I just could not roll the center like I was wanting to. I tried to over-rotate the center and couldn't get the launch off that I was wanting to. But we've got a lot of adjustability in this truck, so we'll be just fine. Thanks, Matt.
Hell yeah, full night of racing tonight and tomorrow.
Because
there's your radar.
To us out there in heat number 4, and when you talked to me prior to the race, you said, I know I'm going to be good. Talk about that back and forth with Matt Crafton.
Yeah, Mr. Matt, it's amazing to race against, champions of this series here in NASCAR. But our Windows Star Foundation Chevy Silverado was fun to drive. I was kind of just adjusting to it on the fly there, but it's all thanks to the men and women on my 24 team, but also everybody at GMS Fabrication, Mike Beam, Lori Gallagher, Ron Booth for all they do for me, and hopefully we'll have a good result tonight. I think we'll have a good night for myself and built seats, Bell Racing.
Smart racing by Raja there to not overdrive and do something stupid for a heat race victory, because he could have really pressed the issue there. He got right on the edge, but he didn't do anything stupid.
Under the light here coming up. We'll be right back with more action from the dirt.
And God damn it, it's hot in here. I'm opening my window a little bit. I don't want to turn the fan on because it blows in the mic, but hell, I'm going to turn it on for a minute to cool it down in this bitch. Now, can I pick all the winners of the Cup heat races? I forget, Michael. What's next week? Oh, next week's Martinsville, isn't it? Right, next week is Martinsville. So everybody going there can freeze their fucking asses off like we did last year. Yeah, Martinsville. Hey, not racing. We never get not racing anymore. Not racing is a rarity, especially in the Cup Series. We got Martinsville, Talladega, Dover, Kansas, Darlington. I would be going to Darlington, but I've got a concert that day. North Wilkesboro, I would be going to that, but tickets are over $300, so fuck that. Coke 600, I'm going to the Xfinity and the 600 race that weekend. So the next time I'm at the track, I guess, will be Charlotte. And then there's a long gap until I go to another race. I don't start going to races until Darlington Southern 500. We're staying the weekend in Darlington. We're doing the weekend in Bristol. We're doing Charlotte Roval, and we're going to do the Martinsville playoff race. So all my races this year are late in the year. Like, I went to Atlanta, and I'm going to Charlotte, and then that's it for, like, the first almost 2/3 of the year. So, yeah. My racing season schedule is very backloaded this year. Because they routed Alice Cooper's tour the same day as fucking Darlington. I'm going to be so pissy about not being in Darlington that day. I don't even know if I'm going to stream the Darlington race that day. I'm going to watch it, but I don't know if I should even bother streaming it because I'm going to be hanging out with some friends. And we're going to have to leave probably before the race is over to get down to Spartanburg for the concert. So I'll be watching the race on my phone or whatever on the way. So I might not even stream that day. I don't know. Because I wouldn't be streaming that day anyway. If I could, I'd be at the racetrack. But NASCAR has to start races at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the fucking afternoon. If that race started at 1 o'clock, I would try to go to both. I would try to figure out a way.
Race on the dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Craftsman Truck Series. We told you the front row, Zane Smith, Ty Majeski, Caden Honeycutt, I'm going to say.
Michael, get me those truck odds as soon as they come out.
Good, too. Drove from the back up there to the third spot.
Haley Deegan up there in the 6th position. Willie B, he struggled early in his heat, but he got going at the end, so he'll have a good chance to go racing. And Stephen Parsons in his first dirt race will roll off 20th.
Yeah, pretty proud of him there. Good job.
Row 6, row 7, some really good drivers. Row 11, Parker Kligerman, him coming from deep. And Norm Benning makes the show.
Norm is a dirt racing legend in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Saw Carson Hocevar back there in row 14, last week's winner. He's got some ground to make up. Tanner Gray had an issue in the heat. So did Colby Howard. And they start on row 18. Looking forward to the 6th race of the year. 3rd time on the dirt at Bristol. We're back here for race day, 7 Eastern time on FS1. Michael, Phil, and myself in the booth at 8. Next, it's NASCAR Race Up, top of the hour, Cup Series qualifying right here on FS2 at Bristol. Thanks for being with us. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's in like 15 minutes. They're going to have a little mini episode of Race Hub here. I will spare you the Burger King commercial. So wait a minute, I forgot, Michael, I know you mentioned that next week the races are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Are they really? Hold on. No, motherfucker. Hold on. Is the Cup race on a Sunday next week? Thought it was a night race. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. God damn it, NASCAR.com. Is it really that hard to get to your fucking schedule? Obviously it is. Martinsville. Sunday at 3. Wow, that's weird. I guess it makes sense that after the fucking cold of last year that they put Martinsville back to Sunday afternoon into the early evening. So yeah, trucks on Friday, Xfinity's on Saturday. I wish they do Xfinity and trucks on the same day again. I like those double hitters. Yeah, Saturday night, Xfinity. That'll be an awesome race no matter what. We don't know how the Cup race is going to be. Cup race should be a little different from last year because it won't be as cold. It'll be in the day, and they've got the new aero package for Martinsville, so it should be different. I'm hoping it's different. We know trucks and Xfinity will be good. So, excuse me. I need to get me a damn Powerade here in a minute. Trucks, motherfucker, trucks. Any day now. Okay, my computer's being funky. There we go. My computer's starting to show its age. It's coming up on almost 4 years old now or something. Hey guys, Race Hub's on. This is the only time I will ever watch Race Hub all year. You want to bet on that?
Qualifying heat races out there at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the
Yeah,
Truck
7:30
Series.
next
We're gonna
Friday.
take you right up to the qualifying races for the Cup Series here on a very busy Saturday. Shannon Spake.
I'm actually
David
watching
Reagan,
Race Hub for
Daytona
once. This is
500
weird.
Winner Trevor Bain with me. Of course, track activities.
Rockstar
canceled
David
yesterday
Reagan.
because of weather, but my goodness, have we had a good time out there today? What stood out to you from what we saw from
Well,
the
the
trucks?
track looked great. Considering that it rained all day yesterday, I thought it might be a mess, but the track looked awesome. But ThorSport, those trucks having 5 trucks in the top 8. Ben Rhodes won there last year, and they've came back with some heat again this year.
Yeah, Trevor, we were all sitting around watching these heat races. It was awesome to see them go green on time. But I'm like you, the track really came into its own and evolved some, even in those short heat races, Shannon. You know, dirt track's always going to be changing. You had Chase Briscoe, he was on the berm, he was up top. You had Joey Logano just running the bottom. Caden Honeycutt had a really fast truck. He was able to pass a lot of trucks. Great for that team. So I love seeing the passing, the slipping, the sliding. It was a lot of fun.
And the legend Norm Benning, of course. But you never know what you're going to get, right, with this track, because it's only the 3rd time that we've been there, and I feel like each time we've gone
Somebody
there,
get Willie
there's
T.
been
Ribs a
different
cup
variables taking
ride.
place out there.
You're right, and even if they put the track exactly the same way with the layout and configuration, which they did put a little more progressive banking this time, but the atmosphere, right, the weather, all those things change dirt so fast. One time we raced during the day because it rained out, track got really slick. Like I said, it rained all day yesterday, so now the track's got a lot of grip, and you saw that. You saw those trucks moving around searching for that grip, and that's where it pays to have dirt experience. The Chase Briscoes and Kyle Larsons, those guys have such an advantage when they go dirt racing.
Yeah, but then of course, like Zane Smith's on the pole, and he says,
Right,
"Hey,
and
I'm
he's
not
not a dirt
yeah,
racer.
and so you never know what's
So
going to
just
happen.
throwing everything I said into the fire, I guess.
All right, let's take a look at the truck schedule for tonight. We got race day coming up later at 7 on FS1. Caitlin and the guys will get you ready. The race follows at 8 Eastern, so a really busy night for the Truck Series. But of course, we're going to bring you right up to the qualifying races for the Cup Series. Take a look at this. That will take place right at 6 o'clock.
10 minutes.
Joy and the guys. And
10 more minutes of filling time.
Coverage begins at 5:30, and then of course it continues 6 p.m. Easter Sunday. So of course we'll have the celebration out there as well. What are you guys looking forward to when we see these Cup cars out there? Because again, same thing. We haven't seen them on the track yet. We really don't know what we don't know yet.
Well, we started seeing a bump form there into turn 3 where the haulers come across the racetrack. These next-gen cars with that underpan, underwing, they're a little bit different than these trucks. You know, you have to drive them straighter. They don't make all that side force. So I like to see who can figure out how much yaw these cars can take and not step over that edge.
Well, for all the dirt racing fans, you don't have a lot of practice when you go dirt racing, Shannon. At your local Saturday night show, they get 2 or 3 hot laps. Where they're doing the same thing tonight, these Cup drivers are going to have 2 or 3 hot laps, and that's all they're going to have. But there's 3 drivers, actually
Is that what
4,
it says in the rule
running
book?
double
2 or
duty,
3?
including Jonathan Davenport. But William Byron, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, they got to run the truck heat races. Even though the cars are completely different, they at least know about that bump Trevor's talking about. They know how the groove's going to move around. So it'll be fun to sit back and watch.
Kind of like us, just get up and go, right?
Yeah,
Just go. These guys are wanting to go, right? We're going to take a look. This is where some of the guys' average starting position in qualifying and then their average finish. If you look at
Yo,
the
did you guys see
it really doesn't line up.
the Tide paint scheme for the calling car? Oh my God. Tide paint schemes are the best. I wish we had one running every week like back in the day.
I still want to start up front because I think that makes life a lot easier. But one thing that we've talked about, this track is going to continue evolving and changing tonight during the truck race, but even tomorrow they're going to re-prep the racetrack. But 200 laps, that is or 250 tomorrow, that's a lot of laps for a dirt race. You know, you're going to have a lot of rubber laid down, a lot of moisture will be pulled out of the track, and you don't have typical cautions where you can just go and work on the race car throughout the whole race. So, Trevor, if your car is not handling right, you don't have an
an opportunity for strategy and taking 2 tires or staying out. So it will be a little different tomorrow night.
Yeah, and the slicker a track gets, the harder it is to pass, harder it is to make forward drive, find that grip that you can get to. But David's right. You know, dirt races are normally 40, 50 laps, and the track changes a ton in those 40 or 50 laps. So 250 laps, I mean, this track's going to go from maybe a mud bowl in the beginning to being a dust bowl by the end, and you got to figure that out. And again, I go back to those dirt racers. Jonathan Davenport has never been in a stock car until today in that truck. We saw him hit the turtle on the bottom and knock the left front off. But when he gets in this cup car, you know, he's got to learn fast. But I'm sure a lot of drivers are coming to him asking about the conditions of the racetrack.
And another thing, Shannon, you know, on that list, a lot of those guys had some dirt experience. Your Kyle Larsons and even Alex Bowman's, Christopher Bell. So I feel like they get up to speed a little faster than some of the others. But at the end of the day, it's still about taking care of your race car, making good decisions, and having a car that can actually go and compete at the end. And so maybe those dirt racers get a little anxious. Maybe they start rubbing and they use up their equipment a little too much. But it seems like all these asphalt guys seem to be able to find their way to the front.
Yeah, I had some friends reach out to me commenting on what the track looked like. And I know this is like your hometown track, right?
It is.
It's still so cool to see the dirt on it, isn't it?
It's wild because I remember going there at 5 years old and watching the sprint cars on dirt.
Hey, now it's cold in here.
Never thought I'd see it again. I talked to Jerry Caldwell. He's a track president there at Bristol. Called him today, and I was just curious how many loads of dirt it took. 2,300 dump truck loads of dirt to fill this place up. You know, I was thinking maybe a few hundred, but 2,300 loads of dirt to bring in over 6 weeks to make this show happen on Easter, you know, which is crazy. Well, he never thought he'd be working on Easter, but here we are, Easter dirt racing at Bristol.
You know what? This is random, but last night I was checking my DVR because I'll record Raw and SmackDown every week so I can watch them without commercials. And I have every episode of NASCAR Race for the Championship saved on my DVR from last season because I think I gave up. I got uninterested in watching it like 4 episodes in. So my DVR is loaded with NASCAR Race for the Championship because it honestly wasn't that great after the first couple episodes. It didn't do enough to hook me and make me want to watch every episode. But I haven't deleted them, so maybe I'll get bored sooner or later, and I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll turn that on and watch that finally. I should get about an hour break between the heat races for Cup and the actual truck race. So, yeah, there'll be a truck race stream later. As soon as the Cup heat races are done, I'll stop the stream, take a break, and then we'll come back in a little bit. So I need to think about who's going to win this first heat race. I'll say Stenhouse wins it from the pole. How about that? This heat race is already way harder to pick than any of the Cup ones. So I'll say Stenhouse wins it from the pole. I think his biggest threats are Reddick and Bell. I know it's not a big field. It's only 10 cars, but they're a little further back. Maybe Stenhouse can get out to a nice big lead. Stenhouse has dirt experience. More than Reddick, but Reddick just seems to be a fucking demigod at every form of racing now. Every form of racing. I think Reddick still needs to figure out how to take better care of his stuff. Like when he's got a third place car, he overdrives it and fucks up and finishes like 10th or worse, you know. But when he's got a winning car that's bulletproof, it's pretty good. I don't know when Chase is coming back. They said 6 weeks at least from whenever they made that. And I think they said 6 weeks from Atlanta. But I don't know if that means exactly 6 weeks or if they said after 6 weeks they can start looking for when he can come back. Scary thing is Talladega's coming up. I don't know if I'd want Chase out there for Talladega. Maybe bring him back the week after Talladega. I don't know.
Season long, we are celebrating 75 years of NASCAR. And listen, when you're talking about Bristol, you cannot leave our good friend DW's name off the list.
DW.
Here's why. Enjoy.
Oh, cool. We got a Darrell Waltrip segment. I liked having Darrell in the booth for the Cup race last year.
Real threat to Darrell Waltrip as he led the last 80 laps to take his checkered flag. I just sort of rode along and tried to stay out of trouble. And the race ended under caution with Darrell Waltrip taking the checkered flag 1 full lap ahead of Ricky Rudd.
A lot of guys come into this racetrack, and I believe they're probably intimidated by the high banking. Sort of learned how to make the banks work for me, and I think that's been a big secret to me running good.
Instinct and a fresh set of tires as he beat Bobby Allison to the finish line.
You know, when it's your turn to win or your track, I guess you're just going to win no matter what.
Another home state victory.
Not racing in the early 80s looks so cool.
I was just kidding at the time, but it sure was nice tonight.
Predictions came true as Waltrip took the checkered flag at Bristol for a record 7th time in a row.
I mean, listen, like, you are the man. 7 Bristol wins in a row. It's incredible.
It is. And that racetrack doesn't even look like Bristol without all the grandstands around it. I remember seeing pictures of the grass hill. I obviously wasn't around then. You might have been. Were you around?
Not quite. I remember watching.
Bring back asphalt Bristol, god damn it.
It didn't matter what kind of
And run the short track package at Bristol in the fall. What are they thinking not doing that?
You can kind of win 3 or 4 from time.
I was at the race last year. It wasn't that great. It was all right, but it could have been a lot better.
That's a lot of wins at Bristol at a tough racetrack.
The story of Bristol last fall was tire problems.
Like maybe DW did it.
I don't have those stats, but I felt connected to Bristol until I saw that. I did. I loved Bristol and being a hometown track. Kind of like for him, you know, he's in Nashville a lot. And for me, when you go to a hometown race, it just, I don't know, it does something to you. It's kind of like Denny Hamlin at Richmond or Martinsville. You probably were that way at Atlanta, but Bristol was my racetrack.
And when you have success at a racetrack, Shannon, you know what you want as a race car driver, kind of a feel. And I think Darrell won early in his career at Bristol, and so he knew what feel he was looking for. Like he talked about in the interview, he wasn't intimidated by the high banks. He knew that his race car needed to handle the banks a certain way, and he was rocking and rolling. That was impressive.
I remember one time Elliott Sadler said Bristol was heaven on earth, like heaven on earth. I just remember that quote for so long. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the schedule tonight. You got Cup qualifying next here on FS2. Then at 7, flip over to FS1 for truck race day with Caitlin and the guys. And then, of course, the race. Then a great Easter Sunday planned. Bristol Motor Speedway. We've got the Easter celebration at 4:30.
Oh my god, Tim Tebow is on the Bristol Easter celebration tomorrow.
For more race coverage.
Oh my lord.
Right up to that green
Literally.
flag. We were just talking off air about this, just how awesome.
All right, time for the Cup heat races. Let's go.
Easter with your family.
It's 6
You should
o'clock.
Go to mass, go to church.
Let's gotta move
and also
on.
see the celebration with all of the folks out at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I don't think Marcus Smith and Jerry Caldwell, like I said, ever saw this coming. But really, when you think about it, everybody's sitting around eating deviled eggs or ham, or I don't know if you guys eat that on Easter. That's what my family has.
Drinking wine, you know.
Yeah, just watching NASCAR.
Yes.
So, and it's Bristol dirt.
Yeah, and to be back at Bristol on a dirt track, that's something I never thought I would see maybe in my lifetime. You know, it's kind of a throwback race. The NASCAR, Cup Series is obviously a lot of starts on the dirt track, Shannon. But to be back at one of the most notorious...
We are less than a month away from Darlington, and there have been no throwback schemes announced. Are they just not doing that anymore?
That's going to be fun.
Less than a minute, we'll hand it over to Mike Joy, but what are you looking for in the qualifying?
Oh, hell yeah, Mike Joy.
Really, I just want to see who can figure this place out. We saw some drivers working the top end already. I'm sure Briscoe, Larson, they're going to work that cushion right away.
But it's who's going to be aggressive. You get the passing points, so not only do you have to run well, but you have to pass a lot of cars. So starting on the front row, leading every lap, that's not going to cut it. You've got to be able to pass some cars and get to the front.
And it's a real treat because not only is Mike Joy on the call for this race and of course qualifying, we've got 2 dirt racers in the booth as well with Clint Boyer and Tony Stewart.
Oh, Smoke's in the booth. Hell yeah.
Bristol Motor Speedway, and those guys are going to take it away for the qualifying races for the Cup Series.
I didn't know Smoke was doing this race.
Thanks, Shannon, and hi, everybody. Mike Joy with Tony Stewart and Clint Boyer. 2 of the 3 of us have...
Look how fucking cold everybody looks in the stands. That one girl looks thrilled to be at the racetrack.
We're waiting to be excited by 4. We hope...
Smoke.
Heat races. Now, everybody qualifies for tomorrow night's Food City Dirt Race, but this will set the field. Now, this takes some drivers completely out of their comfort zone, and other drivers have had this date circled on their calendar, well, ever since last year. So, Just starting on the pole and winning this heat race, well, that's not going to do it, is it? Well, hey, no practice, no nothing on this racetrack. All these guys are starting right off the bat here, not one single lap turn, so that's going to be interesting. Heat races, I love the heat race atmosphere, that aspect of it. That's common to a dirt race, so I love that we implemented that for the Cup Series. A lot of pressure on these guys. Just because you win, Tony, that heat race with these passing points doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you literally could start on the tail of your heat race and outpoint the guy that starts on the pole and wins the race. So the passing points are awesome. I'm glad NASCAR went to this format. This is a true dirt format. This is excitement.
If Tony Stewart's happy, it must be good.
Where these guys are running in these heat races, they know they're going to make the race. But because of the passing points, every one of these positions matter today.
Well, let's have a look at the format for tonight. Random draw, a real random draw, determine the starting order. 4 qualifying heats.
Rigged!
Laps.
They rigged it!
Accumulate points.
Where's the boomers to say it was rigged because it says random draw?
For first, and points for each car that you pass. You cannot lose points for being passed, but your point total will determine the starting lineup for tomorrow night. All right, let's check in on pit road with our almost soon-to-be birthday girl, Jamie Little.
Who cares?
Thank you very much. Yes, it's a big weekend, Easter weekend. Happy Easter to all of you watching at home. And Chase Briscoe came so close to winning this race a year ago, last corner on the last lap. But that's not the big story. I walked up and noticed your left hand is all wrapped up. What happened, and how will that impact you here?
Yeah, Thursday night at Larson's late model race, just got in the wall and broke my finger kind of from the knuckle all the way.
I didn't know Briscoe had a hand injury.
Not ideal, definitely. It's really, really painful, but we kind of made this deal with the doctor, a stint or a splint that kind of makes it weird. Honestly, I was surprised how easily I could run in the truck heat race. So I was definitely way more nervous before the truck heat than I am now. I felt like there in the truck heat, I was my normal self. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be painful tonight, painful after the race tomorrow night, but in the car, it kind of feels fine. You know, adrenaline kind of takes over. So yeah, I'm definitely way more excited now than I was before the truck heat race. Just I was definitely kind of panicking with just the amount of pain I was in. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have surgery first thing Monday, and yeah, be 6 to 8 weeks with this thing on. But yeah, we'll be fine.
Adrenaline helps everything. Go out and win it, right?
Yeah, for sure on that.
All right, that's Chase Briscoe. Regan?
Well, Jamie, the talk of passing points, I looked at the sheet starting first in heat race number 2 is going to be Ryan Blaney. A little bit of bad luck with that draw. What does that mean you have to do in the heat race now?
Yeah, it's crazy. Bad luck starting on the pole. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, just try to win it, right? I mean, that's the best we can do. It's nice to start on the pole. You know, in some ways.
That's why they should give more points for the guy who wins the heat race. Do they not see the flaw in this?
By yourself, but yeah, the biggest thing is just trying to see how you fire off into one. Hope you get a good start, and then adjust your driving style for how tacky it is. It looks like it has a lot of grip out there. So we'll see. Really cool to have Menards and Maytag on this Ford Mustang, and like I said, that's like the only time I'm mad about starting on the pole. I'm not mad. I just wish I was starting like 6, but we'll try to make the most of it.
All right, good luck, all right, thanks.
This is kind of fun. We're at a dirt track, so we have washing machine and laundry soap sponsors tonight. How about that? And we have some real dirt track veterans to entertain you.
Well, any day now they'll start. So Stenhouse to win from the pole. I'm sure Bill and Riddick will ruin my predictions.
And watch anytime on Hulu.
Oh, fuck off. Get to it. Yay! Cars are rolling.
Welcome back to the world's fastest 5/8 mile, covered and manicured in dirt to create the venue for the Boot City Dirt Race tomorrow night. Here's the starting lineup for heat number 1. Ricky Stenhouse, Alex Bowman, BJ McLeod, Justin Haley, Austin Dillon, 5 Chevrolets at the front, then Tyler Reddick's Toyota, Josh Berry in Chase Elliott's Chevy, Christopher Bell coming from 8th, trying to pile up some passing points in his Toyota, Brad Keselowski in a Ford, the only Ford in this first heat, and Ross Chastain's Chevrolet. Stacked heat race for sure.
This is a really good field for a heat race. Bell, Keselowski, Chastain, Reddick, and Stenhouse. Bowman's got a lot of dirt experience now.
The heart rate monitor, bottom left. We'll see how that changes throughout these 15 laps. Now,
I love that Hooters paint scheme.
Each heat, when it pulls out on track, will be given 3.
I think I like that Hooters scheme better than the old Night Owl scheme from 2020. Wait, Josh Berry had really low tire pressures in the left rear.
I think it's a great call.
Hear that throttle control. All about keeping that front end pointed.
I can't wait to see how different the Cup cars look compared to the trucks we just watched.
And you'll hear us talk a lot about it today and tomorrow. Exactly to that point. Normally you're steering these cars off the right front, where when you come to a dirt track, you're literally using the throttle. You're turning the car with the back tires to get the back of the car to rotate around the right front.
And you have to be careful with that. You'll hear these guys jabbing that gas. Womp, womp, womp. That's all trying to get the car to come around, if you will. But if one womp too many or too hard,
one womp too many.
Exactly what'll happen. She'll come around in a heartbeat.
And that will change as the course of the race goes on.
There's Brad Keselowski. Get it? Because he's sponsored by fucking Hawaiian Sweet Rolls.
And you'll see as these guys run laps on it, you're starting to see
We have a pack of those. We're having an Easter dinner here tomorrow. So. Them shits are delicious, Brad.
And that's what they will use for a reference of being able to gauge how much grip is in the racetrack.
Also, the crew chiefs.
And that damn Tide paint scheme on Haley's car is so nice.
Still, just because their cars are sitting down there, there's air pressures and adjustments that can be made. They'll all be watching this track and trying to keep up with it, making those guesses for their drivers. Total package here. You got to be up on the wheel and outside that car, but you got to have a good setup, a good neutral balance. And as this thing slicks off, then you got to start tightening up as well. Everything I see, look, that's a degreaser. Tide is a laundry detergent. There's a soap on Stenhouse's car. What's going on here? I know it's a dirt track, baby. It's a dirt track.
Yeah, stuff might get dirty.
Irish Spring. I mean, it's a new
gunk
sponsor category for the dirt race here.
BJ McLeod, sponsored by his favorite Star Wars droid, Gunk Droid.
Formed up now. 10 cars. Everybody qualifies. But how many passing points can you earn? Now, BJ McLeod.
I look for Bell and Reddick to roar up to about 2nd or 3rd at least, and probably challenge for the win.
– 15 laps. And here's Alex Bowman's team.
We can get free and off. I can't keep it on the right rear without getting it too yawn through the center. I kind of shove the nose, but I'll keep working at it.
So basically what he's saying is his car's tight, and what he's trying to do is bring that back of the car around with the throttle. But sometimes if it's just too tight, it's hard to do that. And it goes back to what Clint says. You spin those tires too hard or too many times, and at the wrong spot, now it swings down and you can't get it back.
Well, and as it dries out, it starts to get patchy too. So you'll hit a patch of tacky, and that thing will really go one way or another.
Boy, Clint Boyer's vocabulary is already pissing me off tonight. Look at those tire pressures.
That's where the real challenge comes. That air pressure is a big part of that. Look how low they are, trying to find that grip in this track. Speaking of the track, hats off to this crew. It absolutely dumped on this racetrack, and it is flawless.
This is a good-looking dirt track for once.
Canceled everything yesterday, but now we're ready to go.
Figures the last year they probably do this is when they finally figure out how to get this track right, and they're probably never going to do this again. Bowman, great launch. Well, looks like I'm already wrong. I said Stenhouse from the pole. Here's Bowman out front. Should have known better than to bet on against a Hinder car. 4 wide. 4 wide.
Get too high.
Christopher Bell slinging out against the cushion there. Still 4 wide. Now they're just 3 wide. Berry packs it into 1. Josh Berry's being really aggressive.
Yeah, he knew exactly where he was going to go.
What's up, Tino? Bowman, Stenhouse, Austin Dillon into 3rd.
Already looking at the top. They just worked it before this first heat race, so it's fresh up there. It's got
Josh Berry running really low. I'm worried he's going to hit the turtle on the bottom of the racetrack and upset his car if he gets any lower. 3 wide for the lead. The 48, the 3, and the 47.
Got to his outside.
Austin Dillon, look at him go. Look at Austin Dillon taking the lead from a Hendrick car. Stenhouse hits the dirtle. Look out. Stenhouse did what I thought Josh Berry was going to do the lap before. Stop it with these fucking camera cuts, NASCAR or Fox. I can't fucking keep up with this. There's a lot going on. You don't need to cut the camera to make it seem more exciting. It's pretty exciting. There's a lot going on. Well, I never would have picked Austin Dillon to win anything that requires talent, but he did win the truck race at Eldora
we heard that with Chase Briscoe
many moons ago.
Did we really hear that?
And Reddick's on his back bumper. I said Reddick and Bell, and they're 2nd and 4th right now.
You may not want to do it as much.
That's actually a good visor cam shot there, because you could see the top 5 in front of him.
And Bell, that outside was his savior in the first lap, but not so much anymore. Struggling to make hay on the bottom.
Oh, Josh Berry! Around he goes.
That's just a little bit.
Doesn't hit anyone. And we have a caution.
Seems like these things, you know, you can run it sideways, caution out. You can run those things sideways, but once it gets to a point, you can't bring it back.
What's up with that car?
Just a little unburned gas in the pipe there from that car spinning around. Here's a look at it.
That's the lap before. Josh was really getting into the corner hard. And you see he's up. He carried that all the way through the corner and then spun out.
He did. He rifled it off in there. I mean, you look at how much ground he gains on Alex Bowman there in front of him.
A little bit too much. No
almost fucking Hocevar Bell into the outside wall.
And that's the great thing about these heat races. It gives these guys the opportunity.
And nearly made Justin Haley crap his pants.
To try things, to gauge what they're doing in the car off of each other, around each other.
How soft those tires are.
Woohoo! Check Chastain's nose for damage, because he got into the back of Stenhouse pretty good there.
All right, here's what Josh Berry and team had to say about that.
Actually felt really good. I just got into sideways and I couldn't steer enough to the right to straighten it out. Yeah, it's important. I mean, this is a place to learn to limit, so good job.
That's another aspect of these cars. They don't turn. You know, the only time, Tony, you and I actually drove at Bowman Gray is the only time I've ever been in one of these cars, and I was surprised how little they turn. All right, here's something new. The Choose drone is floating.
And now we're going to talk about the Choose drone again. Oh my God, it's a drone and it lights up.
On it on a dirt track.
On the track and have them stay. So they have a drone right over the racetrack. We have a camera on it. I mean, we're opportunists. Why not? So there is the Choose. Some guy with a rope to pull the cone doesn't have a job tonight. Sorry, but he gets to operate the drone, so I guess fair is fair.
Well, it's 2023. I mean, we got to get away from a rope finally.
Tony Stewart's like, please keep people off the racetrack so I'm less likely to run over them.
Holding a Choose cone.
I'm sorry, I'm going to hell, I know it.
But there you have it. 5 laps complete. Watching this second row, it's going to be interesting. Bell, obviously, on the bottom with Reddick on the outside. Both of those cars are extremely fast. The front row is going to have to get going here. Pressure's on. So Austin Dillon, the leader, chooses the outside. Tyler Reddick chooses the outside behind him. Now that moves Bowman up to the front row on the
Reddick was sizing up Austin Dillon there before the caution, so you'll be back. You got to go to the store. Get me a Yoo-Hoo. Michael, get me a Yoo-Hoo.
Drivers, everybody, all the teams are focused, laser focused on this race.
Send me them truck odds.
How these cars are making gains, how they're passing, how they're losing, right? A lot of learning to be done on a track that's ever changing. pace car will head for home. 10 laps to go, heat 1.
See BJ McLeod, did he already park it? Great launch for Austin Dillon and Reddick on the outside.
Huge jump for Austin Dillon. Look at that outside
Austin
line.
Dillon making the most of this opportunity.
Following suit.
I mentioned that when the pace slows down that we may not hear those guys shifting, and in all reality it may even make them want to shift even more because the RPMs will be lower if the track slows down. And
Christopher Bell's car doesn't fire off that well, but after a couple laps he gets pretty good. I think that caution there hurt him a little bit.
All these teams, you know, went back and watched. And
It's taken him a lap or two to get back up to 4th.
Was Chase Briscoe last year and was certainly shifting every lap. Only using 4th gear, no 5th.
Battle for the lead. Slide job coming.
Down to 3rd, back to 4th.
Slider, not there. Has to abandon that. Austin Dillon holds the lead.
This racetrack is in
Dillon, Reddick,
shape.
Bell, they've all gained 4 spots each in this
And
race.
I mean, a monsoon for hours upon hours yesterday. A little bit soft getting into
Bell
to
going for
3. They worked
3rd.
on that between the trucks
Terrible camera
and those
work.
cup,
There we go. Now I can
heat
see.
races, and even it's getting dialed in.
Still there. Barely at your bumper.
Bell's having a hard time getting around the 48. He can't quite clear him. He should off of 4
Top
this
to
time.
bottom,
You're clear.
Great traction all the way around.
Show the lead.
Thompson makes a pass on the ball.
5 to go. Reddick's there. Yeah, let's show the fucking back markers
Austin Haley
when we got a battle for the lead with 5 to go.
I just don't think he had enough momentum to
Go split screen at least, damn.
get all the way up in front of him.
6th place battle there. Chastain in 7th. You're riding with it.
Yeah, I can almost see the lead up there.
Racing experience, races some modifies down in Volusia. Watched him a little bit in those, and you know it. That's why.
And Reddick takes the lead in turn 4, slides up to clear him. Dillon's going to cross him over. Great move, Austin Dillon. Reddick got a little over aggressive there, just trying to clear him and basically park it in front of him. And now Reddick's back to his inside, down the back. Who's going to drive deeper into the corner? Reddick. Oh, sends it in there. Leaning on each other a little bit. Can't tell you who led that lap. Oh, Reddick. Here comes Bell. 2 to go, by the way. They're going down the back with 2 to go.
What I see that he's able to do.
And now Reddick's trying another approach. He's going to the outside, but now here comes the 20 in his mirror.
But he gets the tire caught up and gets a big
Good job, Austin Dillon, to hold him off. 1 to go.
Austin Dillon holding strong. Got past, learned from it, crossing back over. Bell is closing, but he may
If
run out
Reddick
of time
nails
here.
the exit of 2 here, he's going to have one more chance. Not close enough for a slider. He's going to have to hope for an Austin Dillon mistake now. Austin Dillon real cautious, but he's got enough to hold him off. Austin Dillon. His first race I've got wrong today.
Reddick from 6th to 2nd.
A lot of cars passed a lot of cars in that race. There's like 4 guys gained 4 spots. Yeah, Bell and Reddick reap the rewards of passing points.
I don't know about you, bud, but that this is one of the few times in the last 6 years of my life that I've actually really wanted to be in one of these races.
Wow, Tony Stewart says he's jealous and wants to be in this race. That did look like a lot of fun. That's the best dirt racing has looked for a cup car since they started doing this. Nice.
Which was none. Here are some of the drivers that will be in heat number 2.
I wonder what the other times were where Tony said he wished he was in the car. I bet one was Coda, because Tony likes road courses. But it's interesting to hear him say that he really wanted to be in this race. Why did my stream turn off on my phone? And why are you guys so quiet? Yeah, Austin Dillon won the first heat race over Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell. And Bowman and Stenhouse, all guys with dirt experience. A lot more dirt experience than Austin Dillon has.
You'll hear about slicking off. The track will sometimes turn shiny and gray.
Oh, they're explaining dirt terminology for all us retards out there.
And a slide job, you'll hear that often. From bottom to top.
Slide job. JAWB.
More dicey in a dirt race than when those slide jobs start coming, because then the crossovers come. It's slide job city from then on out. Jamie?
I know it was just a heat race, but what a race it was, and a win for Austin Dillon. How much fun was that battling with Reddick?
Well, that was a blast race with Tyler Reddick there, and we jumped out to that early.
It's very rare that Austin Dillon actually gets to beat talented drivers.
They were gaining. It was mostly entry speed, but our breaststroke Chevy was really good. I'm proud with our sponsor there because we've had a rough couple weeks leading back with them, and glad to get them a good run there, but that was fun. Doing a little slide.
In this heat race, I will take Chase Briscoe.
I think it's really good conditions right now. It was sad to see that it was over, but that was a blast right there.
Well done. Regan?
Maybe the other half of that battle, Tyler Reddick. Tyler, looked like you guys were having a heck of a battle out there. Bubba Wallace, your teammate, came up to you immediately to ask about what was going on in the racetrack. What'd you tell him?
A lot of good information. Yeah, really happy with the pace of our Series XM for the Camry TRD. I had one opportunity there with Austin, and it was just a little too aggressive in, I think, 3 and 4. So, yeah, he was able to adjust and defend pretty well from there. So, that was a lot of fun, but definitely, I promise you, that's about all I had. If we were too much more aggressive, I don't know if I would have finished second. So, that was a lot of fun.
It's fun to watch. Thanks.
Austin did a great job.
He did.
You know, he
I'll
went
take
back
Briscoe to win heat
Reddick
2.
Put it on him and caught him, made a pass on him, made a move on him, got door to door. Austin picked the pace up and went on to win that race.
All right, here's your Heat 2 lineup. Who is likely to get the passing points here?
Well, let's just face it. You want to start on the back of these heat races, again, off of a random draw. And from what I see in this, you know,
I think Denny's in a good spot. I think Noah's in a good spot.
There. William Byron, he was already in a truck, already has a heat
Gilliland's
race
got dirt experience because of the truck series, mainly.
Go to anybody would be him right now. We'll see if he can pass up through him. And
I'll let Briscoe or William Byron to win this heat.
More laundry detergent. Larry Mack, you see a trend here.
I do see a trend, yes. It looks like to me that the dirt guys have showed up and they are putting on a show here tonight. But I tell you what, Todd Gilliland, keep an eye on him starting shotgun in this field, that 38 car. He's had some good runs on dirt.
Nowhere to go but forward. And boy, he has been hot the last couple of weeks with top 10 finishes.
Yeah, great to see that he has done a fantastic job. You know, utilizing that opportunity. It's a big-time opportunity for that kid, and it's good to see him making some good use of it.
Blaney and Briscoe in the front row, Allmendinger and Burton, Byron and Almirola, Gregson and Hamlin, and Gilliland. 9 cars in this heat.
I don't think there's a doubt in anybody's mind where Chase Briscoe's going to land when he gets to turn 1. He will be right up there with
I like that paint scheme on Briscoe's car. Reminds me of them old Tony Stewart Old Spice cars a little bit. Reminds me of the one from 2010. Damn, Blaney fucking launched.
Didn't see that coming.
Caught the 14 sleeping. Clear him, Blaney. Clear him. Denny Hamlin all the way out against the wall off a 2. You see that?
They're doing some good block and making that car wide.
Blaney and Briscoe gap the field there. Harrison Burton's 3rd.
And looking for 3rd.
Here comes Byron.
Gilliland's already picked up 2 spots from the back already.
Gregson's dropped to dead last. No surprise there. It's because he's not very good, guys.
Got to remember, no practice, no nothing. First laps on the racetrack for some of these guys. A.J. Allmendinger right there.
Todd Gilliland moving forward, and I kind of called that at the start of this. I said, yeah, I like Gilliland here.
I think O'Leary was right, boys. Todd Gilliland.
He's the biggest mover. He's gained 2 spots. Byron's gained 2 spots. Other than that, not a lot of moving. Allmendinger's the big loser here. Allmendinger and Gregson.
Something to remember about Ryan Blaney. He comes from a history of dirt racers. His grandfather, Lou Blaney, modified star and champion. His father, Dave Blaney, sprint car World of Outlaw champion.
Dave Blaney's one of the greatest sprint car drivers ever. And I think Dave Blaney's my favorite cup driver to never win a cup race.
And Ryan has been there the entire ride to see it all.
Saw an adjustment they made there by Briscoe. Byron started catching him. He moved down to make that block.
This race a lot more tame than the first one. There's a clear separation here of the top 3 cars versus the rest of the field. Blaney, Briscoe, and Byron are just leagues better than everybody else that they're out there with right now.
You know, Briscoe keeps his car pretty straight around there. Watching this race back from last year, I thought that's one of his strong suits. He was able to turn and rotate around better than most, straighter than most. Kept a lot of grip in those tires. Almost won this baby.
Something we just saw in that last lap. You see him in 1 and 2 going to the bottom of the racetrack. You see him in turns 3 and 4 going to the top of the racetrack. It's not uncommon in dirt racing to see him split the track like that. You see on pavement a lot of times if they move to the top or they move to the bottom, that's where they pretty much run the entire lap. On dirt racing, the ends can be drastically different. The drive and the grip can be different.
Briscoe is getting looser and looser every lap, and Byron's inching a little closer.
That track starts blowing. It's blowing some dust out on that outside of the racetrack.
Track is starting to get a little dusty. Boyer's right. You can see it ever so slightly there. After all those truck heat races and these heat races, it's starting to kick up a little dust.
Trying to find some real estate to get around this 12.
Briscoe appears faster through the corner.
The track's starting to get dark.
Blaney angles it, but look at the drive off Blaney has. That's superb.
Yeah, Blaney's car, the way it likes to stay straight. And Tony just took the words right out of my mouth. Blaney's car is the straightest one out here. He's hooking the bottom, and there's no bobble whatsoever. That rear end is fucking taut. That's the most sideways I've seen him, and it just barely stepped out on him there. And the Bristol Motor Speedway sign's falling off the wall. There it goes. What a great camera shot. I'm not even kidding for once about Fox.
He's got to do it for 4 more laps.
4 to go, and we got 3 cars on top of each other.
Blaney
Blaney got a little more sideways into 1 that time. Briscoe's quicker back into the gas.
As soon as it gets that record tire caught up, he's got really good forward drive.
Hold it together, Blaney. He's been doing so good. Now Briscoe's all over him, but Briscoe got really loose. Hit the apron. Byron's going to get by him on the outside. 3 to go. Move up, I think you're going to see guys start to move up here. You see how dark, how gray that bottom's starting to look and how dusty it's getting. I'd go ahead and start pushing the limit and move up.
Huge for Byron. Sorry, this would be huge for Byron to get this pass completed. He started 5th.
And now Briscoe's more concerned about holding the 24 off, so Blaney's pulled away again.
The top of turns 1 and 2 were really dusty. Couldn't gain any ground there. Coming to 1 to go.
Got him looking in the mirror. Got under him. This could be it. It's where he wanted
Briscoe
to be.
letting it hang out in the middle of 4.
This is Ian that
1 to
Chase
go.
has been historically running
This
the
race
top
went
and
green all
seems
the
to
way.
pay off. He just struggles at the bottom of 1 and 2 where he's running right here, and they switch. Byron goes to the top, Chase goes to the bottom.
Are they cheating this time?
3 for the final time.
Who isn't cheating?
Briscoe up top, Byron trying to come to the bottom, and Ryan Blaney is going to
Blaney wins the second heat.
Number 2, green to checker. Over Chase Briscoe, William Byron, Harrison Burton, and Eric Almirola.
So Austin Dillon and Ryan Blaney have each won a heat. Blaney, though, started on pole, so he didn't get any passing points. But Byron and Harrison Burton looked good in that race.
No,
fine job.
Did what he needed to do, though. If you're going to start on the pole with these passing points, in that scenario, being alive, you have to make sure if you start up front, you better finish there.
And we never talk about this anywhere but here. I mean, there's never a time when a guy's not happy to start on the pole, but when the passing points are involved, if you have confidence and you've got a car that can maneuver around the racetrack and you can run multiple grooves, you want those passing points. You want to start in the back.
Heat 3 is going to be the Kyle Larson show, I'm pretty sure. I think I saw the lineup for Heat 3 today and started laughing when I saw it. We'll have it up on the screen here in a minute. God damn, it's cold in here. I hate this room. It's either too hot or it's too fucking cold, and right now it's gotten cold. Boy, Denny Hamlin really stunk in that last one. Okay, look at the field for this one. Eric Jones, good. Corey LaJoie sucks. Ty Dillon sucks. Crafton has no experience. Priest is good. Larson's great. Busher's good. McDowell, Yaley sucks. I think Larson wins this one. Larson or Eric Jones takes this one.
Bristol.
But I'll say Larson.
And I think, Andy Jeffers will tell me, I think, 1927, the first recording of country music. Bristol, Tennessee, and Virginia. Look at this. Nice museum. Now, here are the heat points. Austin Dillon, 14. It took 16 points to earn the pole here last year.
And I like this, too, because it's going to put a lot of pressure on this next cat. We know Kyle Larson is the dirt guy, right? Everybody's going to be looking at this third heat race, but he's going to have to win this baby to outdo Austin Dillon in that 3 for the pole.
And here's Regan.
Well, Mike Ryan Blaney started first, finished first. We know you didn't get those passing points, but seemed like mission accomplished on everything else right there. How was the track and how was your car?
Yeah, that's really all we could do is try to win the heat race. So car was okay. A little bit too loose getting in the corner. 14 would kind of beat me getting in the corner. I would kind of gain it back on exit, but it was hard to kind of protect that way. I could get a good run.
Well, Magic. I think Dave Blaney was a great driver that was never in the right situation in Cup. I've said over and over, and I said it a little while ago, Blaney's probably one of the best drivers to not win a Cup race. I think very highly of Dave, but yeah, Ryan's really good. Ryan's had a lot of better, more consistently good opportunities than his dad ever had. Magic, I'm telling you, this room fucking sucks because it's like brutally hot in here, and then the other option is turn the fan on, and then it gets so cold. I hate this room.
You know, I feel like most of
The
the time
most temperature-sensitive room in the house.
I've tried to work on that with my driving style, but I felt like the Cup car was kind of free, and that was really nice to be able to work different lanes, and I feel like you need to be pretty free to kind of get the right amount of grip through the corner. So yeah, it felt really good. Raptor Chevy was great there. I felt like Chase just did a better job defending, and hopefully got some decent passing points from starting 5th and getting to 3rd. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for the truck race tonight. It's gonna be a lot of fun just to do double duty, and this is definitely not my comfort zone, so I'm trying to just adapt and keep it rolling.
Thanks, William. Mike?
5 Cup drivers will be in the truck race later tonight. Jonathan Davenport, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, William Byron.
So what kind of show Larson puts on here?
So here's the lineup for Heat 3. Eric Jones with Corey LaJoie. Again, random
Or will
draws
Priest
at the
step
Heat
up and steal the show?
Ty Dillon, Matt Crafton, substituting for Cody Ware.
Yeah, Matt Crafton,
Brian
double duty
Priest,
this
Kyle
weekend.
Larson, Chris Busher, Michael McDowell, and J.J. Yalen.
Crafton with no experience in this kind of car. Oh, Ty Dillon spun on the fucking...
It's literally
hot lap.
Keep an eye on Ty Dillon. He'll be pretty fast in his heat race. Always impressive.
You were thinking for a whole different reason.
Yes. That did not
Ty
go
Dillon
well,
spun
Ty,
on the hot lap.
But you got it out of the way.
It's his
This
Cup
is
career, his
just a
whole
practice
NASCAR
lap.
career in a
Little hot
nutshell
lap,
right there.
if you will. No harm, no foul.
Fucks himself up getting up to speed.
That one about bit me.
It's all right. Take a deep breath. I haven't thrown the green yet.
I'm going back to Kyle. Keep an eye on this car right here. He will be impressive. Speaking of impressive, Thursday night at his own race, slide jobs. You heard us talking about slide jobs? Slide job city, back and forth, him and JD. Shows up, Tony, this reminds me of you. Shows up against the best in the business, gets that crowd on their feet, throwing haymakers, and I mean puts on a show for those fans. What a race for Kyle. Pretty impressive.
And we're going to see Jonathan Davenport as well, but it reminds me of Jonathan Davenport and Kyle Larson in dirt late model.
RCR holds back every driver that races for him, except Austin Dillon. He just sucks no matter what.
Unbelievable. You're the only other guy I've ever seen show up and just smoke people like you've been doing it forever. Step in just like that kid did. Pretty impressive.
And you can bet everybody in the field that's not in a car right now is going to be watching this heat race and watching where he runs and how he does it.
Look how low that air pressure is. This is going to be interesting. Track might be getting a little bit one line around the bottom. We were talking about that, starting to blow some, some dirt up on the outside. That makes it hard to pass on that outside. Preferred line for sure is around the bottom right now. Eric Jones.
Oh yeah, Dale Earnhardt made RCR.
Yeah, it is.
And in the intervening 22 years since his death, it's even more obvious that Dale Earnhardt made RCR.
Because of that line situation we were talking about, I think you have to pounce on it quick, Tony. Track's going to be, too wide. You're rolling around there, kind of packing that back in a little bit. I think if you're going to be on that outside, you're going to have to get it done quick.
And I agree. Like you're saying, you're seeing it. We're all seeing the light dust from the inside that's blowing across. And it's no different than when you see snow blowing. If you live in an area where you just have that real dry snow that blows across, it's the same thing, but it does take some of the grip away. But if everybody's having the same mindset and thinks about bailing down to the bottom all at once, then it gets choked up down there. A guy that does like...
Here we go, another racetrack that thought it was a good idea to hang paper banners on their fucking wall, and now they're having to tear them off here.
So they've had a little
Genius.
issue here with some of the track signage.
Fucking genius.
Some of those adhesive wraps, didn't want to adhere to the concrete. This one earlier came apart in a big way.
No shit.
Up toward turn number 3. When that gets hit, smithereens.
And it just comes off.
Earlier you talked about the Blaney.
I remember watching the day Harvick won Atlanta. I was 7 years old. Michael, you missed a world-class dirt driver, Austin Dillon, School, Tyler Reddick, and Christopher Bell. You missed that.
And his dad, Cactus,
and you're back just in time for the Kyle Larson show. Heat race 2 was pretty uneventful. Blaney led every lap and won the thing.
That is awesome.
Exactly.
Cactus Jack.
And JJ won all 3 of those championships in the same season in USAC.
Correct. Yes. Quite a feat.
The famed USAC Triple Crown.
You don't know anything about that, do you?
Maybe a little.
Eric Jones in what is a beautiful black and gold car right now.
Yeah, that's a classy looking 43 right there.
John Player special look to it. Mario Andretti World Championship style. Sharp. We'll see.
You missed Todd Dillon spin out on the warm-up lap just now.
Matt Crafton in the 51. Priest, Larson, Busher, McDowell, and Yaley. Here we go.
I like Larson here. He's immediately goes to the outside, the far outside. Gonna get a big run off here. The 43 is really slowing everybody up on the bottom. Damn, what a run down the back. He had to check up, and Larson takes the lead. Hilarious. Well, I got this heat race correct, but I'm not surprised. It was the easiest one. Michael McDowell moving forward too. Larson brought McDowell with him.
None of us took lap 1. Exactly. Larson did.
But the line that got him, the money line that got him to the front, got right off of it after 1 lap.
That's exactly right, and that's what we were talking about. I think that's short-lived. kind of pack it in going around there too wide in a parade lap.
Yaley's picked up 3 spots running the cushion at both ends of the racetrack.
Not exactly the deepest field for this one when you've got Ty Dillon, Crafton, and Yaley out here.
It's going to be huge for him filling in.
Priest for second.
Awesome.
Priest, McDowell, and Larson, definitely the class of the field. Although McDowell just had a big moment there. Yaley's wheeling the hell out of the 15 all of a sudden.
In the 15.
I don't think he's done yet.
No.
Yaley just passed the 34 and the 43.
Priest to second.
Yaley's gained 5 spots. Larson and Yaley.
Move up and try to block him.
I think it's comfort. I mean, you got to remember you're running
A lot of big movers in this race. Nobody up at the front was there at the start except Corey.
There's another one.
3rd place for J.J. Yaley.
Oh, she's a pushing Tony.
How he changes his entry, whether he backs it up or uses a little less brake, he'll figure out what to do to help that out, and that'll gain some of that speed back.
And Priest.
Larson, Priest, Yaley. Then Eric Jones with LaJoy and McDowell. And Priest closing on Kyle Larson. Didn't see that coming.
He closed, but now it's kind of stabilized. I'm sure you are, Tony.
Actually,
let's see Yaley get one more spot.
I would say this about Kyle Larson. I think Kyle's sitting there planning, and what he's doing now, he is logging data for tomorrow night. He knows what he can do when he gets on the top, what he balances, so they can work on him between the night.
That's like the best analysis I've heard all season. Talking about why he thinks Larson's running the bottom, even though there's probably a little more speed if he would move up.
You know, that's what makes him such a good dirt racer. You can see Ryan figuring things out, kind of entering different and rolls reverse. Watch that 5 card. It just kind of keeps the same slide all the way through the corner. Very consistent. That's all.
I'm shocked to see Chris Busher running so poorly.
Ahead of this 4-car group.
And Corey LaJoy's dropped all the way to the rear. What happened?
No laps in these cup cars.
What happened to Corey?
Out here to Bristol in the dirt. He's doing a great job.
Back up front.
He's still right there with Larson. 3 to
I
go.
think he's capitalizing. I said earlier that Chase Briscoe, in my opinion, was the class of the field last year. Had the fastest car, and it looks exactly the way Priest's did. I think they got a good setup for this racetrack in these dirt conditions.
Larry?
Yeah, you know, teams can look at the same data that I'm looking at, and up until about 2 laps ago, Ryan Priest was shifting every lap. Kyle Larson was not.
Larson just came up off the bottom in 1 and 2 that time.
Priest caught him. Larson as well started shifting, so both the top 2 are shifting.
Now he goes back to the bottom in 3 and 4, and Larry Mack pointed out that Larson started shifting as soon as the 41 closed in on him. 1 to go.
Remember, that 41 car won the pole for this race last year with Cole Custer.
See how his car, though, Ryan Priest I'm talking about, gets in the corner. He can keep it straight. When he turns left, that car answers the call.
Larson's just barely going to hang on to this. And he will. Larson wins. Priest a close second. Fucking J.J. Yaley third.
And holds off Ryan Priest by barely a car length. Great run for J.J. Yaley. Started dead last, came to 3rd.
Well, I would bet Larson's the heavy favorite tomorrow. Priest might surprise some people. Although it's not surprising me.
On that last lap of 1947, that's laying it down.
And that's the best thing that he could do is be behind Kyle Larson.
As of now, it'd be Larson, Austin Dillon, and J.J. Yaley up front.
You think passing points don't matter? That boy's starting 3rd. That's awesome.
And here are some of the combatants for qualifying heat number 4.
All right, we got 1 heat race to go, and then I get to take a break before the truck race. Michael's got to send me odds, though. You know what? I turned my PlayStation on because I was going to play a little something before the truck race, but I'm not even going to bother now. Save it for after the truck race because I can stay up late tonight because the race isn't until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. For once, I'm happy with an early start, Tom. I'm also happy to not be working today because it's the day before a fucking holiday. I started last year the day before Easter at my job. So this coming week it will have been a year. Been weird. I like the way the track's holding up after all the laps we've seen on it today, through all the truck heats and all the cup heats. But I'd like to see that top line come in a little more. And we're back.
Ahead of Austin Dillon.
Poor Blaney got totally hosed. He's in the top 10 on overall points right now, but that's probably going to change after this next race. But he started on pole in his heat race.
All these guys in his heat race right here saw it, and it could be interesting in this first corner.
Jamie.
The dirt expert.
Bubba Wallace, Jonathan Davenport, Daniel Suarez, Ty Gibbs, Truex, Kyle Busch, Cedric Logano, and Harvick.
You get to go dirt racing, but this time in a cup car this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool, like, I guess, but I did not expect to go.
I'll take Kyle Busch to win this heat race and gain a lot of points because he's starting 6th.
Was quite a bit better than I was, so we still have a lot of work to do to make my HinderCars.com Chevy have some more grip, because I feel like I just can't hustle it enough to go faster, I guess. So yeah, we'll work on it quite a bit. We'll talk about it. Hopefully, be a lot better for tomorrow.
Regan.
Ryan Preece goes from 5th to 2nd. You're not one of those guys we would consider a dirt racing expert. You are a modified guy that's from the short tracks. You were chasing down one of the best in the business right there.
Yeah, this United Rentals Ford Mustang was really sporty, and the only dirt.
Anybody else surprised that Stuart Haas has good dirt setups, especially in Preece and Briscoe's cars?
Hopefully we can start up front and kind of keep that track position and be there at the end, but it was fun. When Kyle missed the bottom a little bit, I was like, I kind of really want to get in there, but second's really good, and then hopefully get us a good starting spot.
Nice job, Brian. Thanks.
Listen, we're sitting there laughing up here in the booth when we're watching Kyle Larson downplaying how excited he is about dirt racing. When that kid walked in here today, I guarantee you he was licking his chops going, I own these guys on a track like this.
Bubba Wallace has pole for Heat 4. Jonathan Davenport.
Rigged. They gave Bubba the pole, Michael.
He was in the 49 in that clip.
Michael, they're going to say it's rigged. Bubba's got the pole. But if anything, the pole hurts you in this, like we saw with Blaney
How much
earlier.
they're working that wheel. There's Davenport.
Interested to see how this Davenport guy runs.
$1 million check last year at Eldora Speedway.
Now this heat, we would say, is stacked. If you look back at who have won the Bristol Dirt Races, 2021, Truex in trucks, Logano in Cup, Ben Rhodes, Kyle Busch.
I don't think I mean, Harvick's got a good chance here to have a good starting spot for tomorrow because he's starting 9th.
And the fellows known as the dirt track diggers have not prevailed here in the Cup race.
In this race, I really like Bubba, Suarez, Truex, and Kyle Busch out of this group.
In position to win it, couldn't quite seal the deal.
I think you're right, Mike. They haven't won. There's obviously you're right there. But it's.
I love that Busch and Logano are in the same heat race.
They
Look
cleaned
at Joey
that up.
Logano's
Somebody's bound to win this thing.
Look at Joey's heart rate lower left. Just in hot laps.
Just hot laps. Well, I'll give him credit. He went straight to the top. He wasn't tiptoeing around it. He went right up there.
Oh, did you guys hear Kurt Busch it's not like an official announcement, but Kurt Busch says he fully intends to return to full-time Cup racing. So keep an eye out for that next season in a third 2311 car. You know, they've already got the third car that's running like a couple of races this year. They ran with Pastrana at Daytona. Kurt Busch intends on coming back
basically never
to run full-time.
Ever. Bubba's going to be very aggressive. And you got Suarez that was extremely fast in that second row, and Ty Gibbs on the outside of him that's really aggressive. And they all just watched Larson pass the whole field in the first corner. I love it.
I love Bubba's paint scheme. Finally a good McDonald's scheme, but it's like half Dr. Pepper, half McDonald's.
They're in that loose dirt trying to see how much grip there is in it.
Because the other McDonald's scheme this season is terrible.
Race in a truck, I think you keep your eye on him. Opportunity here for him. He needs to pass up through this heat race, and this baby stack is going to be hard for him to do.
So which is the taller task? Adapting to these cars or adapting to this surface?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on if you're Bubba Wallace or if you're Jonathan Davenport, because Jonathan's used to these surfaces. Bubba's not. But Bubba's used to these cars. Jonathan's not.
Yeah, I think
remember Bubba won Eldora in the trucks a few years back.
Being in something you never drove before, but again, we just watched.
And Michael just sent me truck odds. I'll check those in a minute, and I'll text you what I'm thinking.
But he darn sure it did come from a late model background, showed up against the best, and put it on him pretty good.
Our lights are on the pace truck. 15 laps. The number to hit is 15. That is the high mark right now on finishing and passing points.
Can Kevin Harvick make something happen? Ooh, big stack up in the second line. Suarez. Bubba really screwed that bottom line. This is Davenport's first laps in a Cup car. But like I said, he knows dirt. Kyle Busch already gained 2 spots on the start, it looks like. Bubba holds the lead.
Logano already up through him.
One off to 22 outside short 54.
Logano from 8th to 5th.
That 8 car, different driver in it, but was obviously very, very fast last year. You know, they have a good setup.
Kyle Busch third.
His teammate Austin Dillon was fast in his heat race. And here he comes.
And Kyle Busch going for second.
Davenport. Kyle got a good launch off turn 2. Put him in this position.
Ooh, Kyle. Oh, Kyle lost the nose off of 4. Thought he was going to hit the 13 and wipe him out. They did touch. 13 gave him plenty of room. It was Kyle who pushed up off the bottom. Got a little sideways, overcorrected, and
I think Jonathan just kind of squared the exit up a little bit, and Kyle was coming up off the bottom, just met in the middle.
He definitely took his line away.
Republic Racing making it interesting here with this third car for dirt track.
Oh shit, did my stream cut off?
I'm impressed with
Yeah,
Bubba
it
Wallace.
did.
Fantastic. He struggled. Didn't necessarily like
According to
this
my phone, my
last
stream
year.
cut off.
Really found his own and finding a good groove here. Holding a pretty wheel.
His line looks a lot like Ryan Blaney's in the second heat.
Now my phone says my stream's still on.
A little bit free on entry.
I'm going to reset my internet before we stream the truck race. I promise you that.
Power gets good drive off.
This kind of goes right back to that first one. That bottom groove is definitely.
That's this Bristol Dirt Speed All-Star, Wilkesboro, round of 16, Texas State moves out of the playoffs into the week up to the 600. I could live with that, or we could just get rid of Texas altogether, which is not going to happen, but in a perfect world, we would just get rid of Texas altogether. Ever since that contact, Kyle Busch has just settled into third behind Davenport. Not a lot of moving going on in this race. Cindric's the big mover, I think.
And we talked about it early in the show. Look at the color. You start seeing that gray come in. If it gets really gray and gets black across there, then you got to start looking for it to go the other way. If it gets tan, then it's getting abrasive. And that's something we won't see tonight, but we will focus on that for tomorrow.
Suarez around.
Suarez just spun. Caution. Caution. 7 to go.
And we're still green. Nope, caution.
You got to throw the caution there.
He was struggling. Was off the pace quite a bit. Got down in 1 and spun. He was probably 8-9 car lengths off of the field. You see him back here in the back, and then just loses it in 1 and 2 by himself.
You're assuming back there he's moved around to a different spot of the race.
Suarez was so far behind everybody else.
About blowing around though. Sorry, Tony, didn't mean to step on you, but that's why that bottom, once it gets down to the bottom, starts blowing that on the outside. Marbles, no man's land.
You can see it on the track right there. Suarez ain't moving.
And pundits everywhere are saying he'll need a change after this.
There's about 1 million products on cars this weekend that we can use to do that, to accomplish that goal.
Yes.
If I'd have known there was going to be that many, I would have brought all my laundry.
Let me look at truck odds while we got a break in the action here.
Talk about dirt track aces.
Black sunshine.
I watched the heat races. Michael sent me the odds.
Man has won a lot of dirt.
Says I get 1 bet tonight and 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, at some point.
If it can be won, that man did it.
Up there with Andy Petrie up on the hauler.
Such a neat guy to watch race over the years.
A lot of top-heavy odds tonight.
Had a 0 on it. Man,
I think Logano wins.
Dirt late model racing.
He competed here 2 years ago in the
He's
in the
almost worth betting on.
Well, we listened in on the 13.
I struggled coming up through the gears there. I don't know if I wasn't lifting properly or what, but on that start, I didn't do very good.
Well, he's never driven a sequential gearbox, right? Until
they're always
off tonight.
He's in high gear when he steps on the gas.
Okay. So that's a big difference.
Well, the good news, he gets to try again right here.
Now, you guys know how pissed off I am about not going to North Wilkesboro because the tickets cost way too much. But I sincerely hope there's a points race at Wilkesboro in the next couple years. And I will go to that, and I will pay more than I'd usually be willing to pay for a race ticket. But I'm not paying over $300 for a race ticket.
He really is. He's one of those guys that
Don't retire from NASCAR with Harvick. That's stupid.
I mean, he's just one of those guys that's always gassing.
If you love racing, watch the
racing.
racing.
Whether he runs the top or bottom, he'd much rather run the top, I think, anywhere than run the bottom. Though.
You heard him talk about his weakness, right? He knows that he's not very good in that.
I was a
gearbox
Dale Jr. fan for 20 years,
now he's not
and here I am still watching.
The good groove there. The jump is very important.
It's a different watching experience when you don't have a top favorite driver, you know.